Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Okay, well, we're back live again. Thank you, Radical, for hanging out. Mark Beiser, if you're still out there, I don't need to eat next week anyway. Also, put a generator in your garage. Yes, sir. If you're still out there, yes, sir. And since we're on camera still, that's $20 win. Ah! Son of a bitch.
And they should have the link if they were still hanging out in the chat. But I am gonna jump out. Have a good one, guys.
Yeah. Take care, brother. Thank you for
Bye.
hanging out with me.
No worries, it was fun.
And give me a couple of minutes, guys. I just started this one immediately so we could not lose you guys. We'll start it up actually in a second. I got a video to watch with you guys, and if you're a content creator, you can ask questions. Oh yeah, don't put a generator in your garage. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. I got to take a piss though. I'll be right back, guys. Don't super chat me while I'm peeing.
Can I? Am I just muted in here? Oh God, I can't hear me. Terrifying. So do I? So I own the stream now, huh? Did you? Did anyone shock you while you were taking a piss?
Okay, I want to know now who super chatted me while I was taking a piss.
That's what they were just asking in the chat.
Yeah, that Jet Guitars, you absolute monster. We can't hear you taking a leak in their team.
There's stickers too. You got stickers and everything. People were just hitting you.
Oh my goodness, yeah. All right, I was pissing outside because I don't have any water, so had to pee
Yikes,
out on the,
he's just
the
like
snow.
fires into the woods.
Right. But thank you though.
That comment
All
came
right.
in 1 second before you said something. He said, "Who?" He said, "Did he get shocked?" What is it right there? Man Devil at Team Skeptic. Did anyone shock you while you were taking a piss? 1 second later, you came in. Who the hell?
Yeah, the last one was midstream. So,
I was sitting here alone. I was talking. I was like, "Am I muted?" And then all of a sudden, I heard myself echoing back there, like, "No, we hear you." I'm like, "I own it."
So who's here with us still? I know Radical had to leave. Jared, are you still here? Okay, I think Jared had to leave too. Okay, so this is a good video. All right. So we're gonna watch this video. Basically, I want to tell people out there, if you're a content creator, this is a must watch. Right? It's about an hour long. We're not gonna do much stopping in it. This is kind of just us watching a video, and we'll cut in on the parts that where I feel like it's directly.
Is this a non-monetized stream?
I don't think so.
It's like monetizable for you. I don't know how it works with. I don't care. I was just curious.
Oh, let me hold on. Sorry, I got to download the video real quick. Let me get that.
I have no idea what you're playing. So sorry. Please continue, sir. My bad. I have no idea, and maybe then I'll talk. Huh.
Oh, no, you're good.
I just thought maybe like I was like, how does it work with playing? Like, cause you know what I mean, content copyright. It's the first thing that comes into my mind. Sometimes I'm like I'm like the wet rag in the group. I don't know why.
Okay. No, this is
Akira's hips don't lie. Got it.
All right. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out why I'm hearing 3 of you now. Okay. Let me pull the video up.
Yeah, that shouldn't be on my end, so.
No, it was on my end. I could hear it like coming in as a source. It's because I had the new stream opened up in another window.
You never know with potato, right? So you gotta make sure.
So, all right. So here's this stream right here is just a really good guide, and it kind of gives you guys an insight into what we have to deal with ourselves as content creators. So it's not going to be a debunk video. We're not making fun of someone who's stupid. We're actually giving out some good advice. This is primarily going to go to the content creators that are out there, but at the same time, it's it's a funny video. The individual's really, really funny. His name is NUX TAKU, and he's a pretty funny guy. He does like random stuff, random content. He doesn't have any real like it's not like secluded to just flat Earth. It's actually got he covers a lot of stuff, a lot of stupidity. Really good video, actually. Let me get the all right. So the name of this video, his name on the video is, I was just reading it. Hold on. YouTube, a system designed to break you. Now, Brainy, you're probably going to have some insight on this just as I do. So if you feel like you want to add anything, just say something and I'll cut it off. But let's not take too much time on it. You know what I mean? So, because it's an hour long.
Warning! This video goes extremely deep and extremely technical about YouTube, the algorithm, and how it destroys the...
Okay, let me fix something just real quick. I want to pop out the chat here so the chat goes with what is... Hold on, one second. So that when people watch this later, they can kind of get an insight on, or they can see what people are talking about. Oh, shit. All right, there we go. We got the right chat up now, I think. Yes, we do. All right, so people like your pal Al, who's a smaller creator, you'll get something out of this. Let's see who out there. Hey, thank you, Bernice. I appreciate it. It says, congrats on reaching 40,000 subscribers. I appreciate that. And Philly Sports Passion 85 says, love your videos. Thank you very much. Now, like I said, this live stream right here is going to be primarily talking about being a content creator on YouTube and getting some of the, an idea on what kind of goes through our head a little bit when we have to do some of these videos and whatnot. Mark Beiser, again, thank you for that 20 on the last stream. I shocked myself individually by myself on that one, and I didn't feel good. I'm sure you saw it, but thank you so much for that 20. All right, so we're gonna just start playing it, and it might go for a while before we cut in. But and the George said you'd be a good person. Hey, anybody that wants to jump on during this time while we watch this video as a content creator, let me know. I will bring yeah, you are a compassionate man, PhD Tony. But I'll bring anybody on that's a content creator that wants to talk about it. Or if you're not a content creator, if you're just thinking about it or you just want to jump in, let me know and we'll bring you in through Discord or something along those something along that nature. We'll bring you in through Discord. But anyway, here we go. We're going to play the video. And if, like I said, if y'all want to jump in, just message me on Discord and I'll bring you in. And Brainy, let me know if we need to stop it.
mental health of YouTubers. If you're interested in any of these things, I highly suggest you enjoy your watch, or well, tear your hair out and you see the crumbling state of the YouTube society. If you don't care about YouTube and how it's affecting mental health of YouTubers and how that affects the content and the platform as a whole, well then, this may not be the video for you. I know it's not exactly recommended for YouTubers to tell their audiences, hey, this may not be the video for you, because people leave and then you lose watch time and then the video doesn't get promoted, and if it doesn't get promoted, it gets stunted in the algorithm, which will make YouTube think that your channel is dying and therefore not promote your other videos, putting you down a downward spiral of mental health where you lose your mind due to how broken the system is to just feed content to eyeballs. And I get ahead of myself. I talk about this kind of thing in the video. If you want to be a starting YouTuber, also, this is, I do think, a pretty good video to watch because I talk about the algorithm and conclusions that I've come to after speaking with dozens of other content creators who all suffer similar pains that I will be talking about myself, despite the fact that most people don't show that their mental health is always one butthole away from an orgy. But I'm rubbing my brain cells together to put out a video that took me a long time to research and write, and I hope that it proves useful to shed light on a topic that no one talks about. A lot of people talk about creative burnout, how YouTube creators need to take breaks, especially during January where ad revenue pays garbage and you don't make any money. So, oh my god, creator burnout, guys, I have to leave January. What a coincidence that I happen to be burnt out on January. It's not like I'm doing this for the money or anything, but I need to take a break during the month that we don't make any money. Meanwhile, here I am starting daily uploads again because I feel like I can really make some creative shiz. Not exactly a brilliant financial move, but creator burnout, I don't think that that is a correct terminology. I think that the terminology creator burnout is used because people don't want to talk about actual problems that they face. Yes, creators get burnt out. I think it's more like mental health crisis at the verge of breakdown because YouTube put way too many fingers in my butthole at the same time and I didn't consent to any of them. Now, I'm not going to be talking about just pure mental health. I'm not a psychologist. I can only talk about personal experiences and the experiences of people that I've spoken to, but I am well versed in something else. I am well versed in YouTube. This video will be going extremely in depth into how YouTube set up a system that even while working properly, it is destructive to mental health. You see, I could be talking about all sorts of other crap, like YouTube treating people unfairly, demonetization, copyright, and all that, and I will get to that later on in the video. But the major crux of this video is how YouTube, even while working perfectly, breaks you. And also, this is part 1 of 2. Yes, long ass video, but part 2 will not be covering YouTube per se, and how their algorithm in itself destroys you. It sounds so stupid to say out loud, but that's really the experience that a lot of people feel. Now, when I say a lot, I think more than 99% of creators feel this way. But part 2 will be talking about social interactions and how the YouTube ecosystem is centered on a platform causing mistrust, betrayal, clout chasing, and never knowing if your friend is your friend or if your friend wants to suck you off until they don't need you anymore. That's part 2. Part 2 is the incredibly toxic social environment of YouTube and a lot of behind the scenes stuff. And if you're interested in that, I would really appreciate you share. That would be sick. But this one is talking about the hard facts of YouTube and how that breaks YouTubers. Now, I don't think YouTube changed and tweaked its algorithm in a way to break YouTubers. They're in it for themselves. They're in it to get as many people watching ads on their platform as possible and sucking out as much money as they can. But by doing that, it created an ecosystem that's impossible to survive and thrive in without really beating your head against the wall. This is part 1 of the toxic YouTube ecosystem. This is talking about YouTube's system and how it's designed to break you.
Now, the first thing I want to add to this is that I understand what he's saying. Like, as a YouTube content creator, you know, when he says 99% of these guys, hey, what's up, David Oliver? Good to see you. And also, Philly Sports Passion, I appreciate the congrats. But absolutely everything that he said there was so true. Like, you have to ask yourself, like, how conceited are these people that are YouTube content creators that say, I need to take a day off? You know, I need to take a couple weeks off. Whether they're psychologists or not, they know themselves well. And if they're not feeling it and they feel like they need to get a break to, you know, to hold on to some of their sanity, I'm one of those people. You know, I'm one of, and we'll stop the video again, going through it several times to kind of give you a perspective of, you know, what it's been like for me. But I'm sure Brainy's felt the same way. You know, I'm sure we both fit into that 99% of the category what he was talking about. 99% of the people out there feel like there's a time at which you just have to take a break, when you just can't keep going anymore, when you feel like keeping going is really just like a duck that's sitting on the top of the water, who's sitting there perfectly still, and you can't see. To you, from your perspective as a viewer looking at the duck on the pond, it doesn't look like the duck's doing shit. But that duck is out there fucking paddling his feet off. Excuse me. Just not going anywhere. And it feels like that every few months. I really do it. I get that feeling that, God damn it, I just can't do this anymore. Brainy? Were you about to say something?
Yeah, until a creator, I mean, I just agree completely. Until a creator gets really big and they have a team underneath them that can help them, which that's a whole different ballgame at that point. You're like a business, and you've got like a team of people. You've got people to lean on. But when you're like singular creators like us, like, and to add to that, before I continue on that note, I mean, it's really hard to rely on other people. Is the thing, like, and I don't mean in the sense of like I don't want to rely. Like I trust you, and I trust. I have people I trust, but really relying on people is hard for me and my personality. And I think that's common with a lot of creators. We tend to be very singular people. That's kind of what got us in what we're doing. Right. So, because the thing is, I know my timeline, and I'm the best person to keep myself in order on what are my priorities. So I tend to try to do things myself, right? Which is again what got us here, but that's what also leads to it too, because you're kind of like the singular purpose of the entire thing. And so, it just, and especially if you've got other things going on, young kids, and or everybody's got other things going on, so it doesn't really matter. So the bottom line is, you add other things to the equation. Some people have more, some people have less, but if you add those other things to the equation, it becomes overwhelming to a point of, and that's for normal people. And then you add just the fact that a lot of us have, I've got ADHD, which is much more of a I don't want to say debilitating, but it's definitely much more of an all-encompassing mental disorder than I ever really realized it was originally. So once you add that to the equation, you nailed it. I mean, it's that whole like, there's times where my channel goes dark for, for the last 4 weeks, my channel has been pretty dark. I haven't had a lot of live streams. I haven't had a lot going on. And it's just because in the background, I've been working 8, 9, 10 hours a day, and trying to make sure I'm putting in the time with the family and everything. And then it gets hard to come and sit down, and I want to come and stream. I want to, and my wife's like, I really want you to make sure you concentrate on the streaming and stuff like that too. And I'm like, I really do, but I come and I sit down and I'm drained. And I want to be that energetic person. And then I don't feel like going live at that point, simply because I just can't put that best person out. And then it can turn into you being frustrated. I had that happening at the end of December there on FTFE's stream and stuff like that. I was starting to get annoyed. And it was because I was just getting tired, and you need to reset. So that's where the last couple months I've been kind of sitting back. I've bought a lot of stuff in the background. I've set up green screens. I've done a little video here and there, but I've kind of been just kind of like recovering. So I'm ready to move forward again here. So you nailed it.
Let's play this video and let's see what because he has advice in it. And that's why I say, this stream, like he said at the beginning of his video, it might not be for you. And I really want to focus a lot on the streamers here, or not streamers, but the content creators here, because if you're looking to make this a career like I've chosen to make, and like Brainy's trying to make for himself, and like Fight's made, then you're going to deal with this, and you need to be aware of it so you can prepare for it. So here we go.
When everyone starts out YouTube,
I was going to say I'm listening, but I've been muting it, and my wife's looking for something down here, so I've been muting myself and turning it up. So if you say something to me at some point and I don't respond, I may have walked away for that 10 seconds, but okay, I'm here. So
all right, cool.
Everyone has the same mindset, okay? That's already not true. But bear with me for a moment. I am going to create something sick. Through creating this something sick, people will start to watch it. Maybe I'll be able to make a living off of it. Maybe I'll be able to survive through YouTube and not need to toil in everyday society, which, let's be honest, is almost as toxic as YouTube's ecosystem. Almost. So most people starting out, they are looking at YouTube from a creative standpoint, from the creator's perspective. And that's really the healthiest way to make content. But unfortunately, unfortunately, as almost every single YouTuber who doesn't get an initial video to blow up needs to suffer, they'll recognize that looking at YouTube from the creator's perspective is all fine and dandy when it comes to making content, but not so fine and dandy when it comes to people actually watching your content, let alone finding it. There is so much content on YouTube and so much quote-unquote competition, and I hate that word because so many YouTubers view other YouTubers as competitors, which again is unhealthy, and I will get to that later. No worries. But it's such a saturated market. What is gonna make your content worth watching? What are you gonna do right that a bigger YouTuber isn't gonna do wrong? Because you see, you could make a video, and if a bigger YouTuber finds it and likes it, he could make that same exact video, and he'll get all the views from your idea because the algorithm isn't gonna push your video with your one subscriber, which is your alt account, to millions of people. That's just not how it's gonna be. So starting out YouTube, it's very difficult to start to look at things algorithmically because you don't know about the algorithm. You just have a passion to make shiz and have people hear what you want to talk about or see what you make. But unfortunately, that is not a tactic that you can actually deploy on YouTube 1,000 out of 1,001 times where your videos will actually get views. And if you're not getting views, you're not motivated to continue, then you never expect to succeed, and then you quit, and that's when you fail. I was making YouTube videos for years before I actually even got a barely sizable enough audience to make an income off it. Because when I started YouTube, it was purely from the creative standpoint of I want to make shiz, and while it was fun and fulfilling creatively, it was not sustainable. There comes a point in every single YouTuber's life cycle when they realize it's not all about my perspective, it's about the viewer's perspective, because it's important to understand what they want to see. You can't just make what you want to make if they don't want to see it. I could be really passionate about talking about why hentai is important for the modern climate of the current eco-political conflicts in America. But if no one wants to see me talking about how hentai is the potential cure for the political conflicts of eco-political frickin' climate in America, then no one's gonna watch my video. Definitely subscribe for how hentai is in fact the cure for political conflicts and the eco-political climate in America.
Put a 1 in the chat if you think hentai is the answer for fixing the eco-political situation in America. But yeah, so he makes a good point there, and I said it before. You know, a lot of the smaller flat Earth channels that were small at the time when they were covering flat Earth, like Schrodinger's cat and Radical and even Brainy, but the Radicals and the Schrodinger's cats, who's actually gotten up to close to 10K, they've all kind of left the flat Earth. Even Brainy, he's already left flat Earth as a primary source for videos. So I agree that here it's good to find a niche. You know, it's good to find a place to get your foot down and have people know who you are. But at some point, you have to find something that's unique, or you'll be competing against all of the larger content creators like Simon Dan, FTFE, myself, you know, Cool Hard Logic, Martimer, all those guys that cover it. You know, Professor Dave. Look at Professor Dave has done like 3 or 4 videos on Flat Earth, right? But if you go and you look up Flat Earth videos, he'll be up there at the top. Now he has 1 million subs, and it's a great video. I don't want to take anything away from him, but he's not a Flat Earth channel. He literally put out a few Flat Earth videos just to show the absurdity to his students. And that turned into making him, you know, a Flat Earth icon of hate. You know, that's what the Flat Earthers, at least, they look for it. Look at him as an icon of hate. But you have to evolve. You have to evolve. You also have to keep in mind of what the audience wants to see. You also have to keep in mind of what's going to make you happy. I mean, there's just so many aspects.
I mean, that video is funny shit, though. The way he just like, okay, tough shit. Like, he just, I've enjoyed it multiple times. I won't lie.
Are you talking about the Professor Dave video?
Yeah, like it's a well done video.
Oh yeah,
he hits it. He has it's upbeat. He keeps the whole. There's no point where there's like he nails the dynamics of everything you need to nail to be a successful YouTube video, which is part of the reason why it is where it is too. Like I agree with everything you're saying, but yeah, it's also a really decently set up video for what the analytics like.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Video coming soon, maybe. But no, people would much rather me talk about top 10 strongest anime characters or 5 Marvel superheroes that.
And hey, a shout out, even though I was watching this already when he shared it with me, a shout out to Bella Charge, who's in the chat right now. Bella, thank you so much for putting me onto this video. Like I said, when I say putting me onto this video, you put me onto the creator. I was literally like 5 minutes into the video, I get this message from Bella, and it's just a link, and I'm like, ha, that's funny. I'm watching that video right now. So here we go. Thank you, Bella.
And defeat Thanos.
Love you, brother.
Or why I hate X YouTuber. Man, people are interested in something like that. That's healthy for the current mental state of YouTubers, but not the point. Because while it's important to recognize your perspective of what you want to make and the viewer's perspective of what they want to see, there's a third player in this game, arguably the most important player when it comes to YouTuber success,
pay attention
and that
to
is
this.
YouTube's perspective of how to play
right.
the game. Now, the idea of YouTube having a perspective is terrifying. Normally, you'd think that YouTube is all about people watching videos that they want to watch, but unless that video gets put directly in front of their face by YouTube, they ain't gonna never find it. And that's the important takeaway here. At the end of the day, you can make videos you want to make, and you can make videos people want to see, but unless YouTube, that powerful third party that controls literally everything going on here, controlling the more than thoughts and fandom CBT videos, not that I've ever watched any of those, because that does not interest me in the slightest. Let's just move on from this metaphor. Unless it appeals to Mama Susan Wojcicki, the CEO of YouTube, it ain't going nowhere. All of a sudden, you're juggling three things: what you want to make, what they want to see, and what YouTube wants to promote. And when I say want,
and this is so true, because if you remember, the interest in Flat Earth dropped when YouTube stopped putting Flat Earth videos in front of people. When did it stop doing that? Well, when the Senate approached YouTube and said, hey, what are you doing about people looking up if the Earth is flat? As soon as I heard that, I was like,
they said they held their finger up and said, they said nothing. Give us a week. You know, basically is what happened. And then the gauntlet. And I'll be honest with you, you were big enough. I remember that day well, because channels like mine were getting, all of a sudden I was getting, like, I've still not got the kind of views velocity back to my channel, even near 5,000 subs as I was getting at 900. Before that gauntlet, before that door slammed down. And what happened is channels like me and Radical and a few others, we were just large enough that as that door slammed down, we like Indiana Jones'd our way underneath it, like dun 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 dun, and slid underneath it. And the door shut behind us, and it became increasingly hard for all the people that were not past the 1K mark yet.
Which is why I say
they ground to a halt.
Which is why I say, like, if a new creator comes out, Flat Earth is really good to get into, because it's real easy. You'll get noticed by the other Flat Earth creators, like Fight will notice you or something, and then he'll shout you out in his video, and then you'll instantly get a few thousand subs just because you're doing Flat Earth. But after that, you're not really going to grow, because YouTube stopped even trying to share this with you know, the average viewer, someone who watches a few science videos or watches a few conspiracy videos. If you watched a conspiracy video, the next thing they promote to you is, you know, a Fight the Flat Earth video or a Simon Dan video to say, hey, look, here's this guy talking about this conspiracy, but he's not pro that conspiracy. Eventually, after that hearing, the Senate hearing, they just stopped. They just completely said, you know what? No more Flat Earth stuff ever. And they stopped. And that's why I say, you know, you get in there, get your foot going, get a hold in the community, and then branch away from something that will give you more exposure. Something more YouTube friendly and viewer friendly, and that makes you happy. If it doesn't make you happy, you're not going to want to do it anymore. That's what happened to me with Flat Earth. It just wasn't making me happy to do Flat Earth videos anymore. It wasn't making me happy to participate in Flat Earth debates anymore. And for my own health, I mean, I really did. I would get done and just be like, what the fuck am I doing? You know, why am I arguing with these fucking mental midgets? Like, seriously.
To promote, I don't just mean clean content that's not edgy in the slightest and as bland as toothpaste. I mean, it also has to fit every other prerequisite of the YouTube algorithm's guide for promoting videos. And for that, you need to study the algorithm. You need to understand the algorithm. You need to appeal to the algorithm. And once you're appealing to the algorithm, with so much of your thought going into that being titles, thumbnails, video length, how the video is structured, well, less of the focus could be on what the viewer wants to see, and even less of the focus could be on what you want to make. But now, I've been tossing around the word algorithm a hell of a lot, like it's some evil beast, like it's actual hellspawn. And if that's the impression you got, I don't mean to confuse you at all. I want to be clear. That's exactly what the
Johnny, this is just a content creator who made a really good video about some of the issues with YouTube. You're welcome to join, Johnny. Message me on Discord if you'd like a link, and I'll send you a link. We're just kind of watching this and talking about it as we watch it.
Algorithm is. The fact that there is an algorithm altogether is scary. And we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of how the algorithm, while working properly, is designed to make you fail. Before talking about the real hellscape of copyright, community guidelines, demonetization, all that crap that's kind of out of your hands that comes to destroy you. And I think everyone, whether they're a viewer or a creator, recognizes that those systems are ass. They're horrible. They're just, you put all your work into video and you're humming a tune for 3 seconds. You just freaking hum Despacito and Luis Fonsi pops out of the ass cracks of the pavement and you just whacks your whole video with copyright. It's just hell. Yes, that's all rough and stuff. And we'll be talking about that and how that affects a YouTuber's mental health as well. But what no one talks about is that the algorithm itself is designed to break you. I'm talking about the algorithm working at 100% capacity. No wrenches in the plans, just the algorithm. This is how videos go viral, 2021 edition. I say 2021 edition because in the old days, it depended on if your content was good. I mean, YouTube a decade ago was promoting these really short animation videos. They were like 2 minutes long, they were funny as hell, they were usually edgy, and people liked them, so YouTube promoted them. Unfortunately, that does not really seem to be the case anymore, because you see, on a 1 minute long animation video, YouTube can't put a lot of advertisements. YouTube can put a lot of advertisements on a 40-minute long video, especially if it's a video that people are going to watch the whole thing. Like, for example, if that 40-minute video was a YouTuber, let's say Toddy Westbrook as a stupid example, making an entire 40-minute long video as essentially a hit piece to take down James Charles, another YouTuber that a lot of people like. So let's say a video like that. Well, that's a video that will get a lot of views because it's a relevant topic. People want to see it, even though it's basically all slander. And it's long as hell, so it has crazy good watch time. So the watch time is good, the click-through rate is good, YouTube will promote it. Well, that's a healthy video to promote on your website. Video got like 50 million views before it was taken down, but this is the stuff everyone knows. Everyone knows you gotta appeal to the algorithm when it comes to click-through rate and watch time, which has made thumbnails and titles on YouTube kind of hell to scroll through. All of them completely over-exaggerating and no longer talking about what the video is actually about. When's the last time you saw someone review Naruto and title the video Naruto Review? Well, Naruto Review isn't nearly as exciting as I just watched Naruto and this happened, and then you have like extremely shocked face in the thumbnail with blood coming out of the guy's eyes and the poggers expression, and then it's just basically a review of Naruto. Yes, this devolved to such a point where people realized this, and you got dude Pyrocynical, extremely popular YouTuber. He makes analytical content on video games, but he markets them as shit posts. He made a 2-hour-long video on Far Cry 3, but he titled it Fat Cry 3 with a meme thumbnail. It's just basically a review of Far Cry 3, but Far Cry 3 review would not do as well as Fat Cry 3. The entire YouTube system is polluted with this stuff. But again, this is stuff people know about. What people don't know about is how it's not just starting making YouTube videos that is extremely difficult, and it is, but it's continuing to make YouTube videos. And it's for those videos to do as well as your previous batch of videos, because again, every YouTuber's self-worth is somehow tied into numbers, which is extremely unhealthy, but it is the reality. People don't want.
Now, that is something I want to comment on. You know, from my own personal perspective, you know, you do get a lot of these feelings that, you know, when you make this your full-time job and you say, I'm gonna do this forever, you know, you start to feel as if the worth that you have as a content creator is dictated by the number of views, the number of likes, the number of dislikes, the number of comments, the positive or negativity of the comments. It's just a lot. A lot has to do with it. And you can absolutely feel this way without it really being your fault. You know, it's a natural thing. It's something I've gone through several times where I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what can I do to be better? And sometimes there's nothing. There's nothing we can do to be better. There's nothing that we're doing wrong. I mean, you could say we're doing wrong by making videos that aren't up to par or aren't that likable. But even if we do make a likable video, if the audience chooses to not like, not comment, not share, and that's your choice, you know, nobody wants to twist your arm and say you're only allowed to do one thing here. But when you get to that point and you start to equate what it's like to be a YouTuber the only way you can judge your success is based on your analytics. You know, a lot of us focus on the number of subscribers we have. You can't do that. If you focus on the number of subscribers you have, you'll never, ever grow. You have to look beyond focusing on the subscriber count, because if that's what you focus on, nobody's going to subscribe to your channel. You know, you need to be focused on making better content, focused on doing something that you love. And when you do that, when people see your passion, that's what makes them come back. Well, that and the comedy. You know, I believe Johnny, is that you, Johnny?
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing tonight?
You know me. I'm trying to stay busy.
And thank you, Jordan K, on the 40K. I appreciate it.
40K, is that like a number or something? What, some kind of milestone, or is that how much your debt is now?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. Man Devil, take care, my friend. I'm glad you made it. Yeah, he has a kind of weird voice, but it's good information. Regardless of the voice, it is good information. All right, so here we go. And feel free to cut in anytime you need to, Johnny, to express your opinion. Brainy, I want to make sure I didn't give Johnny your link. Are you still there?
Oh, yeah, I'm just
okay,
quiet,
good deal. Just making sure that
Brainy,
you're still there.
Brainy knows when to be quiet when the real men show up.
Mr.
Yeah, except when you were
Andrews.
on my show the first time I had you, didn't shut my fucking mouth. I had to invite you back for a redo. I'm like, hey, Johnny, this time I'm going to let you talk, buddy. I'm sorry. I watched that and it was terrible.
No, it was good.
It was like ADHD.
No, you were good. You were good. Yeah. No, it's cool. No worries.
Thank you very much, Kayako Gaming. I hope I said that right, Kayako. And Mr. Andres said, congrats on the 40,000 stalkers. You're my #1 stalker. So I wouldn't have it without you sharing it in the stalking community.
To see you. Probably it's a problem with you, not a problem with YouTube. Sometimes that is the case, but more often than not, it isn't. I'm going to use an extreme example to start, just so that you could really get where I'm coming from, and then I'm going to talk about how it applies to literally everything. It starts off with YouTube telling you, find a niche. Don't make general content. If you make general content, there's a million people that make general content. Why is someone going to want to watch me make fun of Katy Perry if PewDiePie made a video making fun of Katy Perry? Why is someone going to want to watch me give $1,000 to the last person to walk out of a revolving door when Mr. Beast can make a video giving $100,000 to the last person to walk out of a revolving door? General content is so oversaturated, starting off with general content is nearly impossible, because why would something you make stick if something that a creator that's established with an audience with much higher quality already made that video, but better? So YouTube tells everyone, find a niche. Find a niche that you could make something that no one's made before because of how niche it is. Well, that's a great way to start off. You know what? I think that that's great advice for everyone. Until it's not. Allow me to introduce you to Fortnite Epic Sniper Compilations. That's right, you heard correctly. Something that I never ever thought I would talk about on this channel, but unfortunately I have to prove a point. Even though Fortnite has become so much of a cringe fest, it definitely does do well to prove exactly what I'm talking about. When Fortnite was in full bloom, it was doing extremely well. Mr. X decided, bruh, I am going to make compilations of Fortnite snipers. This format has worked in the past. It worked with Call of Duty, it worked with all these other shooting games. Oh, why can't I do it with Fortnite? And he did, and it did well. Imagine every video you upload, it's just a useless compilation of Fortnite, and they all get 1 million views each. Ravenous 12-year-olds watching that thought-provoking content. And then one day, Fortnite is not so relevant anymore. People aren't really playing it. The new hot game on the market, Valorant. Valorant is a game that everyone is so excited about. It's time to upload epic Valorant moment compilation, laugh emoji, laugh emoji, laugh emoji. But that video is not going to do well. Why not? Valorant is just as relevant now as Fortnite was then. So why isn't Valorant video getting as many views as the Fortnite video? Allow me to introduce you to another player in the game, this proverbial Satan of the situation, also known as the algorithm. You see, the way the algorithm judges your content on whether it's worth sharing or not is if I upload Fortnite compilation and get 1 million views, let's say I have 1 million subscribers, people ravenously excited to see the next Fortnite compilation, and I decide to upload the Valorant compilation. Well, I mean, these 1 million people subscribe for Fortnite. Maybe out of the 1 million of them, maybe 50,000 of them are actually interested in Valorant, and they'll click on the video. But then YouTube will be like, wait a second, hold up. This guy uploaded a video, and out of his 1 million fans, only 50,000 clicked on it. Must be a garbage video. I'm not gonna promote that shit. And so the video never goes into the algorithm. And and therefore it's never promoted. No one ever watches it. It's a dead video. And then YouTube's like, wow, this guy just uploaded a dead video. Well, we're not going to recommend his next video as hard as we recommended his last one. You see, consistency is important. But you know what else is important? Momentum. YouTube is so based on momentum. Every time you get a video to do well, it gets recommended to a lot of people. So your next video will get recommended to a lot of people. Anytime a video of mine does really well, I'm really happy because it means my next 5 videos are going to do well. Every time I do a video that's really poor, I'm upset, not because that video flubbed, but because the next 5 videos will also probably fail. That's another issue when it comes to like copyright and demonetization. If I upload a video and it gets demonetized, it's a force out of my control that forces the video to do poorly, which will make the next 5 fail too. It is rough out here, fam. But that
Now, this is something I've also talked about, and I want to stop it here for a second because this is something I think any good content creator could learn from, or any, new content creator could really learn from, because, when I did, I went and looked at my analytics when I did this. I was doing all flat earth stuff, and I broke away to do one video. It was a compilation video. It was myself, AB Science, who's a great content creator, and Planar Walk, who's a great content creator. All 3 of us had been covering flat earth. All 3 of us decided to do a 3-part video, one on each channel, covering global warming, right? A global warming denier. And you would think that would do well. You would think that people who are denying that the earth is round, that people who enjoy seeing content like that will also want to watch content on, how global warming is real. But it didn't do so well. And it absolutely makes sense as now why that didn't do so well. It didn't do well because I was dealing with a flat earth audience, an audience of people who wanted to watch flat earth, not an audience who wanted to watch the science behind global warming. I'm sure that you would have been interested. I'm sure there's a good percentage of people that want to watch it. But that video still to this day hasn't got 10,000 views, when every video before it was doing really well, and then it seemed like every video after it started, a little bit lower and then had to work its way all the way back up to where my normal videos were going. And I never understood it from that perspective. I never sat back and said, why did this happen like this? And then when I was watching this, I was like, maybe that's why the videos immediately following my, the flat earth videos immediately following my global warming video didn't do so as well as my normal flat earth videos did as well, also as well. Mm-hmm. So it is something that content creators can learn. When they find what their audience likes, they need to make content that their audience likes. Otherwise, they're shooting themselves in the foot for future content.
That's tough to do because somebody like me, I'm too eclectic to have a hyper focus on one subject. I couldn't do just making fun of flat earth people. I couldn't do that. I would bash my face against the wall. I don't know how you did it so long.
I don't either. I just put up with the agony that came with it. A couple of things. Calibun says, Team Skeptic, are you staying safe in Texas? Yeah, I'm getting safer by the day. I still don't have water and heat, but that should be fixed. Water should be fixed by tomorrow. Heat should be fixed in a couple days after that. Agolf Twittier says, congratulations. Thank you very much, Agolf. I appreciate it. Commander Darklight for 80 Aussie dollars. Congrats on the 40K. What did I miss? Lol. You missed the shock stream, and it was horrendous. I'm glad you kind of missed it, because your sadistic ass would have been fucking all about hurting me as much as possible. And Johnny picked up your slack, so also thank you, Johnny.
I made sure you were feeling my power.
Oh man, how do you from a viewer perspective? Do you like it when I do that? Like when I do those 2 streams that I've done so far? Is it entertaining for you?
Look, I've said it once and I'll say it again. It's the most brilliant thing that you've thought of to do. Even if and I understand that it's doing YouTube isn't necessarily about the money for you. You do because you enjoy it, but doing something like that where it's interactive, like the audience can actually, because super chatting is cool in itself. It's like, oh, if I super chat, this person's going to read out my super chat. That's pretty cool. But now it's not only is that person going to read out my super chat, but that person's going to get something's going to happen to, something's going to happen to one of my favorite content creators. he's going to get he's going to get a shock to his arm,
and I'm directly responsible for that. And that's the mindset.
Right. That's that. The fuck, I didn't think about that, but you know what I mean. That's a genius thing to do, because it drives that interaction, that content interaction, which is exactly what you want.
Alrighty, well, let's keep going.
On the algorithm and how it's designed to make you fail. Everyone is told to start with a niche because that's the only way to really blow up. But let's say you start with the niche. Let's say your niche is Fortnite and Fortnite dies. You can never ever move on because any other video you make will be not just not promoted, but it will be suppressed because of your Fortnite fan base that doesn't care about Valorant. A friend of mine works in the channel Treesicle. It's a well-known channel that makes videos about video games and stuff like that, and I liked his videos and all that, but unfortunately, if you look at his channel right now, it is not doing well. He started a new channel to talk about anime called Bonsai Pop, which you can check out if you want. They make good stuff, but the reason why this is extremely important is because that channel was doing healthily well. They were having a nice mix, Mario video, a Pokemon video, everything's going swimmingly until Five Nights of Freddy's reared its ugly head. They then uploaded Five Nights of Freddy videos, and they started doing really well. They started getting millions upon millions of views. So everything in the YouTuber's brain is like firing off dopamine, saying, bruh, we gotta feed the algorithm. Consistency gets views. So they uploaded 1 million more Five Nights at Freddy's videos, each one doing well. They were really happy. Everything's great. But now they have hundreds of thousands of accounts subscribed to them for Five Nights at Freddy's that aren't interested in Pokemon or Mario. So if they decide, oh, I'm gonna make a Pokemon video, you have 100,000 people that didn't click on the video. And YouTube's like, wait a second, 100,000 people didn't click on the video when we showed it to them in their subscription feed. We're not gonna promote this shit. The channel is now dead. You see what I'm saying? Starting off with a niche is healthy, but unless you can break out of that niche somehow, your channel is doomed to failure when the niche in itself dies or when you don't have the passion to continue talking about it.
And that is absolutely true right there, what he said. And that's why I said, you know, you cannot...
I've been diversified.
Unless you're someone like Simon Dan or Conspiracy Cats or Fight the Flat Earth, you cannot hold on to something that's saturated with content creators like the Flat Earth debunking is. You've got to find a way to get out early while you still have a good subscription base, but at the same time, you know, so YouTube sees you as a true content creator, which I think they do after about 1,000 subs. I think they start taking you a little bit more seriously once you have your first 1,000. That you can also start grabbing onto other content and bringing in some of the viewers from there. And then you'll find that one piece of content that really grabs the viewer, and that's the one you need to hold on to. That's the one you need to really use to push your channel. Like for me, it was moving on to the anti-mask Karens. Like if I put out an anti-mask Karen video, it does well. I put out a Flat Earth video right now, I get like 6,000 or 7,000 views. That's it.
That's it. God, punch
well,
you.
for 37,
right
yeah,
but
for 37,
Skeletor looking
True though, it's true.
Well, for I keep saying for a 37,000 subscriber channel, I got to remember I hit 40. I was on 37 for so long that I've told everybody 37,000. But yeah, for a 40,000 channel, that's not really good, you know. And YouTube recognizes it. YouTube sees that and says, okay, you know, people don't like your stuff. Why should I promote this to somebody else?
Mm-hmm.
Because of that, you're always hoping that one of your videos.
It's weird, especially. I'm sure, Brainy, you kind of experience this too. I guess it would be easier for somebody like me and Brainy to be a little more diversified because we haven't really hit our niche yet. I can imagine
I deal with that problem a little bit myself. I still deal with the same issue because they just won't show up. You know, like the it's better. I have a bit of a, plus I kind of like ebb and flow in my content a little bit more than some people anyways. Like FTFE just beats on the one topic, which again, I'm not criticizing that, it's his thing, but he beats on that one topic so much that his viewers are definitely there for one type of content. Whereas I have kind of spread my wings enough that I do have a nice assortment. However, it also creates the issue where I don't have critical mass in one direction or another. So as a smaller channel, part of the reason why I am growing slower is I need to get on a content strategy and stick with it. That's the first step. And then B, beyond that, it is probably because I have a bit of a well-rounded 5,000 people, because you got to remember, they're all different people. So, you know, I do amendment auditor, you know, there's 12 or 1,500 people that really give a shit. You know, I do flat earth, there's 12 or 1,500 people that really give a shit. You know, I do another subject, there's might be 12 or 1,500 people that give a shit, but not all of them at once give a shit. So it still results in this spackle fire kind of effect, where the last thing I was going to add to that is you look at this shorts I was trying to put out where I was screwing up the format. Now I've got that figured out now, but the reason I was annoyed is it absolutely shatters the performance on that now. Because what happened is I sent out a whole bunch of notifications to my subscribers, so they get notification blast. They've already clicked on it. 500 people watched that video on the first day. Well, guess what? Those 500 people, most of them are not going to be interested in watching it again, just to satisfy the algorithm for me. So already the video right now is well underperforming now that I've re-released it. Now, a lot of people in here and an FTFEs thing have been kind enough to go and try to watch it again for me. And if you haven't, go check it out on my channel. Hit that like button on that short. Give it a watch, 45 seconds. It's the baby Nathan on his head. But right now it's only getting 3.8% click through. Well, guess what? It was getting a 20% click through when I first released it, because that was my subscribers. Yeah, now they're not clicking on it. What's going to happen?
People see it, and then in their mind they're like, "Oh, I already saw that," so they're not even going to.
I already saw this. So now what's happening is I can see it right in the click through rate already. Now it got a 6.2, which was like a third of what it got initially in the first hour. Second hour it dropped to 1.7. Which means that right there, that's everybody's already seen it. They've scrolled past it. So what happens? My impressions grind to a halt. They almost flatline because YouTube goes, "Oh, nobody wants to see this shit," and it slows it down. Now this video, this little short, it's 45 seconds. It could still grow wings because it's going to take a little while for YouTube to sort it out and put it in the shorts table and get it kind of out to some other viewers. At which point it might take off because it's a funny little skit. But I'm now kind of at the mercy of YouTube because my own subscribers got used up. And unfortunately I knew that. That's why Team's the one who told me. He's like, "I don't think that's the right format." And I was fucking noticeably annoyed. And it wasn't because I was annoyed with him. I was just annoyed because I knew what it meant for the performance of my short. And my channel.
If it's not in the right format, it'll never make the short shelf, and that's where you want.
No, and that's why I just started privating it, because I'm like, they're like, somebody said, "Why'd you do that?" I'm like, because it'll never make the fucking shorts page. The entire point of it being there was a short. All I did was release a 45-second video. That's fucking pointless.
Yeah.
Like.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, go ahead. My apologies. Yeah, you were trying to talk.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say. Kiwi Gamer says, "Team Skeptic, that guy in the video sounds like Gilbert Gottfried. He does actually sound a little bit like Gilbert Gottfried. I never thought about it like that."
Have you ever heard Gilbert Gottfried out of character when he's talking his normal voice?
No.
It is creepy as fuck.
Guys Few says, "I'm going to unsub all 30,000 of my sock accounts. The payment is on the way, guys. Don't unsub yet. Check your account tomorrow. The money will be there, I promise." What up, Colorado Biker? How you doing tonight, sir? And you're right, Mr. Andrat says, niche to niche though, team. Yeah, that's the thing, is you always got to find a niche. You always have to, the best thing to do is become an authority on a particular subject that's popular. You know, so when I'm doing these Karen videos, Karens aren't always going to be popular topics, especially the science denying ones. Eventually, it's going to have to move to something else. So I always try to find a new topic, you know, by doing videos that are slightly different.
Here's the thing with the Karens. We're always going to have the Karens. Always. Right? They're just going to move on to the next thing. It's going to be something else now. Instead of it being the anti-mask, now it's going to be, well, I'm not getting the vaccine. My kids are. It's going to be the anti-vax, and then it's going to move on from that to some other Karen bullshit. So there's a plethora of content there that's just waiting to be cultivated, because entitled fucking bitches are always going to be entitled bitches.
Yep. All right, here we go.
Videos can catch on. It can actually hit the algorithm. It can actually do well. But time and time again, you will fail. You will do worse because the algorithm is working against you in this effect. And when that happens, so does the downward spiral of mental health. Every YouTuber doesn't just view their channel as a job. It's them. It's their personality on the internet. The internet is an alternate world where this is where I exist. And almost every single creator views their channel as an extension of themselves. And if the channel isn't getting the recognition that you feel it deserves, deserves the recognition it once did, you feel like you are being discarded. You feel like you are no longer wanted or no longer needed.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something, and Commander Darklight and Bellacharge are probably the two best people that know this to be true. You see that guy sitting in there in the shower, fully clothed? I've been that guy. I have absolutely 100% been that guy. Recently, too, guys. This is not something that is like, oh, you know, when I first started my YouTube. No, we're talking about 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I was this guy. I had no idea what was going on with my channel. YouTube just dropped my impressions by so much. It really took a complete rebranding of myself to say, you know, I can't keep going down the path I'm going because something's not working. I went and, you know, changed my thumbnail style. The thumbnail seemed to work, you know, more click-through rates. It was great. I changed, you know, the way I did my video. I said, what's probably the most unlikable thing about my video? Well, I came up with two things there. I said, number one, I interrupt too much. I do. I'm a commentary channel. I make commentary in a satirical form about people that are ignorant or slash stupid. So I felt like, you know, Tony really kind of made that, PhD Tony really brought that up to me and said, hey, you know, you might want to let them complete thoughts first before you really interrupt them. That's just a suggestion. I took that suggestion to heart and went back and listened to a few of my videos and said, you know, I kind of did interrupt there where I didn't need to. And I only did that so that I could call them an idiot. And that was the other thing that I said, you know, well, maybe I'm limiting my growth by continuously calling people idiots. You know, you guys aren't dumb. You know, Rob Bennett, I'm looking at you. You're not stupid. Mike M., you're not dumb. Basic trigonometry. Well, hold on. We'll go past basic trigonometry. Yeah. Geist View. No, basic trigonometry is very, very intelligent person. Geist View, you're smart. You know, you don't need me to say that they're an idiot for you to know that I'm calling them an idiot. When I ring the dinger, I add the number. And you know what? I think it's more likable to the person who doesn't know about Team Skeptic. When they come to my channel and they go, oh shit, this is funny. Well, I thought maybe, yeah, I take it back, Mike, since you had to go, oh, thank you. I take it all back. No, but seriously though, I saw something and it seemed to work. My videos are bringing in more subscribers. They're being promoted to more people now.
Right. Part of that, I mean, that's kind of how you got, and that's not kind of how, that's exactly how you got to the point that you were at 37,000. That was your deal. That was your shtick. That's what people tuned in to see Team Skeptic do, is how many times is he going to call this person an idiot?
Yeah.
And then to completely rebrand, not to completely rebrand it, but to step away from that, it's got to be kind of a daunting thing to do.
It was. And let me tell you two things about changing that aspect about my channel. Well, number one, it made it so much easier to write. When I'm writing my script out, I would always have this format where I had said, you're an idiot so many times. And I would say, you're a fucking idiot so many times. And I would say, you are an idiot so many times. I had to come up with creative new ways to say you're an idiot. And the best, most creative way of me doing it was to just not say it at all. Was to just say, fuck that. I'm not going to call these people idiots. I'm just going to ring the dinger and add the number. And it worked. It worked on the first try. So I was glad that I came up with that way. I wouldn't say I came up with it. There were a lot of people that gave the suggestion already. Bellacharge was really instrumental. Bellacharge and Commander Darklight were both really instrumental on helping me develop the channel the way it looks today versus 3 months ago. Two people I really trust in this community are those two people, because I do know that any advice they give me is going to be with the best intentions at heart. So I don't have to think, is this guy just telling me to do this because he secretly wants me to fail? Or is this guy telling me to do this because he really thinks it's a good idea? And it turned out that they were telling me to do it because they really thought it was a good idea. So, you know, fortunately, I had those two individuals helping me out. Plus, I've been running my videos by like a test crowd where I can sit down with them and watch it, and they can give me feedback live and tell me what they do and don't like about the videos. I've learned a lot from it. So, you know, you always have to be seeing what works and what doesn't. Take advantage of what works, man. Pimp the shit out of what works and get abandon. How did he say it? Abandoned it real quick. Okay. If it's not working, don't stick around. And the Android says, look, man, not me. I don't know what you meant by that one. To clarify, and I'll not you it here in a second. But here we go. I'm gonna keep playing the video. I do have to take a Riley as well, so I'll play this this portion.
You no longer feel fulfilled and no longer feel loved. You are, and I hate this term because it's so painful, but you are irrelevant. Starting off on YouTube is brutal. Everyone admits that. YouTube does not want to promote a starting channel. But YouTube also doesn't want to promote an established channel because you see, the way the YouTube algorithm works is over time, people will lose interest in you because that's a reality. Someone could be a huge fan of PewDiePie 5 years ago, but not a huge fan of PewDiePie today. And chances are they're still subscribed to him. They just don't really watch his videos. That subscriber is actively hurting PewDiePie's chance in the algorithm because every time that guy sees PewDiePie's video on his browse features or whatever and doesn't click on it, YouTube's like, well, that's another person that didn't click on the video. So older channels with established audiences, even with millions of subscribers, can sometimes really suffer. If you look at channels like The Game Grumps, for example, with between 5 and 6 million subscribers, and they were extremely relevant back in the day, their videos probably average about a 20th of their view to sub ratio. And that's because there are so many accounts that are subscribed to them that aren't clicking on the video, so YouTube views it as a video that people don't want to see, so they won't promote it. Why would they promote a video that doesn't get clicked on? The whole purpose of YouTube is getting views, so they're gonna promote shiz that gets views. So if you have a channel that exists already, it is nearly impossible to go viral unless it's something that people actively want to click on because it's your niche. Do you see how brutal this is? Do you see how it's a system designed to fail? Well, not fail in YouTube's perspective, because YouTube's super happy with the way the system's going. All they need to do is promote Mr. Beast to every single pair of eyeballs on the planet because he's their golden boy right now and he makes great content, so I totally get why that is. But for everyone else, well, especially the older crowd, having a channel with a million subscribers of people that aren't so interested anymore means they're literally worse than a channel starting out. A channel starting out, at least it doesn't have a million people that didn't click on their video. A channel with a million dead subs means a million people didn't click on their video. Click-through rate plummets, YouTube doesn't promote it, channel dies. Now, YouTube decides, maybe if you have all these people that are subscribed to the channel that aren't really clicking on it, maybe instead of showing this video to the subscribers that aren't going to click on it, maybe it's worth showing them other videos instead, because YouTube wants views. And that's where the algorithm gets really interesting, where they stop showing subscribers the videos of the channels they are subscribed to, because YouTube decides, we know better. You clicked on that red button to subscribe and that bell to get notified. No, we know what you want, okay? As an example of this, in my subscription feed, I occasionally see late night talk show host videos, even though I'm not subscribed to any of them, because YouTube knows better. So again, to reiterate the points I made in this chapter, you need to make videos that you still find creatively stimulating, or else you'll feel like a cog in the machine and start hating yourself, not wanting to create and have creator burnout. So you have to make videos you want to make, and also videos your fans want to see, because your existing audience losing interest means YouTube will not promote it. So it also has to be something that your already subbed subs are interested in. Like for example, if I have a channel talking about anime, and I make a video talking about the YouTube ecosystem, that is not a great business move. Hey, isn't that hilarious? Wow, I really follow my own advice there. And then of course, the third criteria is appeasing the algorithm, meaning the watch time, the click-through rate, maybe hopping on some current trend, which is in itself dangerous because you don't want to bring in subscribers that aren't going to watch your other videos. You see, if you make analytical gaming content and you make a fidget spinner video and you get a million fidget spinner fans that aren't going to watch your gaming videos, YouTube's going to stop promoting your gaming videos. And the gamers that are subscribed to you aren't going to watch your fidget spinner videos, so YouTube's not going to promote your fidget spinner videos. Rough, ain't it? Well, good news, because... So, let me get this straight. Making videos you want means you have to fight against the algorithm so YouTube won't promote your videos and you're gonna feel worthless. And making the same video again and again and again, like the algorithm actually wants with Fortnite funnies, in the long run, it's not gonna promote your other stuff, and Fortnite's gonna die, so the algorithm kills you. So what you're saying is, YouTube is an inherently broken system that is literally created to make creators fail, going down a downward spiral of mental health, and there's nothing they can do about it, right? The short answer is
No, I don't think that's necessarily completely right, because someone like Mark Rober, who does science stuff, he might not appeal to everybody, or like Smarter Every Day, he might not appeal to everybody, but it is an appealing topic. You know, I think that's a topic that probably wouldn't die. You know, so there is reasons. If you find something good, continue on with that. But when you recognize that something's not good, it was something that it was flat Earth with me. I felt like I was burning out. You know, I really just felt the lack of desire to do any more flat Earth content, and I couldn't figure out why. And it was just because I was saying the same thing over and over, and it was slowly and surely dying out from underneath me. So I really got lucky that I went from one niche to the next, and it really was successful for me to do that. But at the same time, you know, I gained subscribers and lost subscribers at the same time. I lost people. There were people that left me messages saying, well, since you're going to be covering these Karens, I'm unsubbing. I'm like, okay, bye. See you later. But it didn't bother me that they were leaving, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I never understood that. I'm going to unsubscribe. Okay, cool. Bye. Have a good day. I'm not holding a gun to your fucking head.
Yeah. I told somebody not recently, and I'm not going to say their name because I don't want to put them out there. It was no hate involved, but the person was like, said something about, you know, this channel can't stand on its own. And I was like, what? The channel can't stand on it. What are you talking about? And then they were like, you need to go back to doing collaboration videos. And I was like, I've never done collaboration videos ever. Like, if you go back and look, you might see 3 out of my 300 videos that are collab videos, you know, where I did something with someone else. It's almost always just me. And then they were like, I probably won't be subbed for much longer. And I responded with something along the lines with, guess what? Subbing costs just as much as unsubbing does. Free 99. Help yourself to it and unsub, because I don't care. You're just being a Karen here. You're just coming in to show your entitled view when you could have just kept that bullshit to yourself. Now, if you're there to help the channel grow, you can be a little bit more positive criticism, and maybe you just don't know how to do positive criticism. I try to listen to everybody and try to take in the general majority of people and grow from that. You know, so maybe you don't like the Karen videos. That's okay. I'm not holding it again. And if you don't want to sub to my channel anymore because of it, guess what? That's okay too. And I'm not going to have any hard feelings.
Cry in my pillow. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Brainy Beaver, on the other hand, I might cry in his pillow.
Brainy Beaver would be bawling his eyes out. He loses 3 subs. I'm going to go unsub from him 3 times today just to make him cry.
He's not even paying attention.
He's not here.
Right, you're screwed. Yeah, YouTube it hates you. That's the short answer. The long answer is people still do succeed, and how is that possible? Well, you see, there are many different strategies to employ when attempting YouTube and taking a good look at yourself in the grand scheme of things and seeing where you belong on this gosh darn hellfire of a website. And every single one of the popular strategies actually works to a massive degree, which is amazing. So I'm so happy that I could make this video to inspire the youth, to get people to be like, yo, this could literally be me right now. I am so happy to finally take this time to explain to you all these amazing ways to do amazing things on YouTube.com and how YouTube actively still works to hinder everyone anyway. Yeah, you thought this was gonna be a wholesome segment? Well, this is not a wholesome video, damn it. I am putting my toxic nature to good work. I am proving the toxicity on the platform so you don't need to feel alone. If you're a YouTuber and you're feeling trodden down by society and by YouTube, you're not alone, because I thought I was alone when I was feeling like crap before I started talking to other YouTube fans. Nuh-uh, we almost all deal with this, literally. Dream and Mr. Beast are exceptions, but everyone else does. Everyone. PewDiePie feels this way, okay? Maybe not so much anymore, but like a year or 2 ago, he went through these ruts too. PewDiePie, the guy with 100 million subscribers. Yeah, that guy. So I guess some wholesomeness is coming from this video at the end of the day. But anyway, you see, we're still in the Catch-22 chapter, and the reason why I'm putting strategy me in the Catch-22 chapter? Well, it's kind of hilarious because there are two basic strategies to making YouTube videos. Upload a crap ton of videos, working with momentum, getting more views in total. Maybe your creative side just wants to create quantity over quality. Maybe you just want to be a guy that talks about the news or talks about popular pop culture issues. And then the other strategy is a better video, but less frequent uploads. Those are the two strategies, and you have to decide which one suits you better. Now, if you upload daily, you will probably get more views, but you will probably get less growth because for the most part, YouTube doesn't promote more than one of your videos at a time. So I kind of did this as a test for the algorithm and also because I was curious about it. But for the span of like 2 months, I went from uploading pretty much daily to uploading pretty much weekly. And I was curious as to see what the difference would be. During these weeks, I put a lot more time into each individual video, which is understandable, but that's not the full truth. You see, I'd say I put a lot more time into half of these videos. The other half were just the regular videos that I would make daily, but I'd only be uploading weekly, and those videos did so much better. A common tactic used by YouTubers when they fall out of favor with the algorithm, since so much of your channel's health revolves around momentum. If you get some bad videos going, your next few videos are going to be bad, and if your good videos are doing well, then your next few videos are going to do well. A lot of YouTubers, once they're in a rut, like I was, before I uploaded my The End video, which marked a new era of my channel, for the few weeks before that, I was kind of in a rut. If you look at my videos before my The End and We Broke Up videos, the 4 videos before that all got between 180 and 220,000 views, which is extremely poor for me. Now, the common tactic to get back into the favor of the algorithm is to then upload something extremely clickbaity that your fans will watch, and then maybe some others will as well, but as long as it does well quickly. And that's why so many people, after a little bit of a rut, they post an extremely cryptic, "The End, we broke up, I am quitting." And usually they're just talking about some meme on their subreddit or something. In my case, my The End video wasn't as clickbait as most, although it was. My The End video was marking the end of that era of the channel where I wanted to try something new, and I'm really happy that I did it. But I did make it clickbaitier by making it look like I was ending YouTube altogether. So that put me in a bit of an upswing of the algorithm. And then, when I started uploading weekly for the test, the videos started doing better. Every single one did better than the last one. In the span of those 2 months where I uploaded only once a week, my 2 worst performing videos were both demonetized and actively suppressed by the algorithm for that reason. But aside from that, every single video was doing better. I just missed the fun of uploading daily content, and I missed the grind. So I ended up deciding to move away from that. But it was a good test for me to accurately gauge how the algorithm treats less uploads. They treat them much better because...
Yeah, now this is another thing I will agree on. You know, that like I've told Irish Demon, and he's done this lately, where he's put out a video a day. And I say when you put out a video a day, it does really well, gets you a lot of exposure, but each individual video won't do as well. Because, you know, let's say we have 100 people watching right now. Let's say I put out a video tomorrow. 33 of the people might see it tomorrow. 33 people might see it the next day, and 33 people might see it 5 days from now, you know. But if I put out a video tomorrow and the 33 people see it, and then I put out another video the next day, well, I'm probably not going to get more than 33 views on that video. And the other one isn't going to continue to grow as well because it's not going to be promoted by YouTube. YouTube will promote the last video. But for a smaller channel, especially for a smaller channel, it's really good to do that. You'll actually kind of get pushed up in the algorithm. They'll start recommending you to people who've never seen your videos before. People will start getting the habit of knowing that there's a new video coming out and expecting that new video to come out from you. And Rob Bennett says, I love the Karen videos. Yeah, I really enjoy making them too. There's so many more I could cover, but I really want to try to stick to just the anti-science Karens. I do want to always have that on my channel as being a pro-science channel. Go ahead.
I think you and I have picked the same Karen video for our next Karen video. You saw that. You saw the one I'm talking about. The Karens invading.
Trader Joe's. I have that coming out. I'm doing the dumbest person on earth next, but the Karen invading the Trader Joe's is a video that I'm covering as well. And I kind of talked to you about this the other day on the phone, and I think I've talked to Brainy about this. Okay, so
I just have to say something really quick. I think it's hilarious that when you say that you're covering the dumbest person on the internet, and then the very next thing that I hear is Brainy Beaver say hello. That's funny.
Yeah, it is. It's almost like unironically ironic, you know.
I was just gonna let you know I'm simultaneously listening to a uni stream, and he is throwing a lot of shit out right now. So you'll be finding out about this soon because it's lighting up.
Oh, is it about me?
Not about, well, he's getting onto the whole Reds. Now he's bringing FDFE into it, donations, all that shit. It's to the point where he almost needs to be sued for defamation. It's absolutely atrocious. He makes up anything he fucking wants. Crazy. Anyway, sorry. I was distracted. That's where I went for a bit because I was listening to it because it's ridiculous. So go ahead.
We may have to listen to that afterwards. Let's see. I love the team. Oh, it's Periscope. Yeah. Oh, cheesy ass. Because he can't even draw 100 viewers on his channel.
He's got fucking 14 people in there in his dying ass channel. Because he can't even get 20 people watching him on Periscope. But you should hear, like, the things he says on Periscope. Periscope's all you'd need to sue him for defamation. He can say anything he wants there, and you'd think he'd be smarter after covering the whole Taddy Westbrook bullshit. You think he would be smarter about what he says, but he's not. So whatever. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you for the $1.
I'm blown away.
KM Hardesty. I believe you said earlier you've been around for a long time, Hardesty. I'm pretty sure. Hey, Brainy, if you're listening to that, go ahead and listen to that and let us know if he brings me up at all.
Well, yeah, I'm muted for sure. Like, don't get me wrong. Go ahead. I'm listening to both. I've been here.
All right, here we go.
Well, good. That means all the shit I was talking
hold
about
on.
you heard.
Yeah, no. I want to bring. I'm not done talking about that. Timothy Foster for $2 says, "Congrats on 40K, man." Thank you very much, Timothy. I appreciate that. But what we kind of talked about it on the phone, and I know I've talked to Brainy about it. I watch commentary YouTubers, right? I watch commentary YouTubers because they kind of give at least a basic understanding or a basic knowledge of drama that goes on in the YouTube community or outside of YouTube community, sometimes the entertainment community. Like, just because you watch somebody doesn't necessarily mean that you support what they're saying, but it is a good place to get, basic information to see what's going on so you don't have to constantly be in the entertainment feeds to be looking for the new entertainment news, like the Toddy Westbrook that he's talking about. So I watch other content creators and get that basic information. And I started to notice that I would watch, if it was something I was interested in, I would watch 4 to 5 different creators talk about it because they all have a different perspective. They all have a different look on it. Like, that's what they're saying. Like, the people in the audience now watch my videos, not just because of the topic I cover, but because of it's me covering that topic. It's a twofold thing. It has, it's not just, if they didn't like me, then they'd watch it from someone else, or if they didn't like the topic, they just wouldn't watch it. But if they like the topic and me, then they'll watch that video because of that. And then if you come out with a video, even if it's the same video, you're still giving a unique perspective. One of the things that a prime example is when I did the Karen named Karen video. I didn't catch that there were signs, anti-mask sign or mask requirement signs on the doors. Then I watched Schrodinger's cat cover it. When I watched Schrodinger's cat cover it, I saw the signs on the doors. Like, he caught it when I didn't. So there's always something new. There's always going to be a fresh perspective, even when it's the same video. So as I told you, that's a great video to cover. We should both cover it. In fact, probably, because I'm the bigger channel here, but probably you'll gain viewers for your channel for that video strictly off the fact that we both covered the same video. And if somebody likes my commentary, they may be interested in hearing yours as well. And thank you very much, Robert Gassman, for $5. Says, way to go, my friend. 40K subs. Robert, you've been around for a long time too. So thank you so very, very much for being around as long as you have, for being a contributor to the channel, and just for your general badassness. I mean, I really appreciate it. Let's see. Baron Vaughn G said, Team Skeptic, cool. You finally left Flat Earth. Cool. Can't knock other people for doing it, but towards the end, you were miserable. Good for you. You're right, Baron. You're right. And this video really covers. Go ahead.
I was just say it was something that was noticeable. Like whenever you and Fight would do your debates, hearing it in your voice. I know I wasn't the only person because I talked to JL and I talked to Irish Demon about it. I was like, man, Team sounds like he just wants to go. He'd rather go.
I'd rather shave my tongue. Okay,
right.
I would rather shave my tongue than go back to talking to flat earthers. Now, I don't mind hosting the debates and letting other people talk about it. That's fine, but for myself to go back and argue with those people, nah, I'm done with it. I'm just done with it.
Yeah, we could, and that's the thing. I mean, I could definitely hear it. We could all three could hear it in your voice whenever, Fight Flat Earth is all jolly and whatnot because he's truly happy doing what he's doing. Oh, hey, team, you there? How's it going? Oh, well, yeah, I'm here. Like, oh, fucking hell, dude. Why don't you just say, go fuck yourself? I'm out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could hear it in your voice.
So that was, and the thing is that a lot of the behind the scenes of that instance or that situation was like me and Fight would talk about it. And I'm just like, dude, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Like, I'm just having a hard time being happy. Like you would think that after talking for 3 hours with a flat earther or, that you'd walk away feeling like the better man. I didn't feel that way.
No, of course.
I walked away feeling like, well, there went 3 hours of my life. You know, 3 hours I'll never, 3 hours I'll never get back. 3 hours that are draining me physically and mentally. And I'm doing it, it's still for the pleasure of it's not completely gone. I mean, I didn't get nothing out of it because I made a lot of people happy. A lot of people were like there to watch me rip into a flat earther because I was a little bit more, I would say I was a little bit more of the anger, the bad cop. And when you play good cop, bad cop to flat earthers, when it was me and Fight, I felt like he was more of the good cop. He was more of the one trying to speak reason to him. And I was more of the one just shitting on him because they're fucking flat earthers, and they're just dumb
definitely
people.
Depended on the flat earther, right? The ones that were a little more vitriolic and just stupid. I think. Well, I don't know. I guess it just depended on which one it was because there were times that Craig would go off, and then there were times that you would go off because, some of them just rubbed you the wrong way. Some of them rubbed him the wrong way. Like Flat Earth Aussie Jesus is one of them. He always seemed to be more cordial, or you always seemed to be more cordial with Roscoe than Fight was.
Yeah.
And I get why that was because, he said some shit about his kids and whatnot and called him an invalid and all that shit. And I understand that. But, the only thing I would say to anybody is if you're going to get in that kind of, if you're going to put yourself in that kind of situation, you better be prepared for them to say stupid, mean shit to you because, you're calling them stupid, moron, and an idiot the whole time. They're going to fucking swing back.
Yeah. No, for sure. And Holdorf 333 for $5 says, have you considered occasionally covering the sovereign citizens to add a little razzle dazzle? Now, see, that's one thing. Yes, absolutely. Holdorf, absolutely. Some of my best performing videos on my channel have been the First Amendment auditors, and Sov sits are hand in hand with First Amendment auditors. The same type of topics. And I think that whether I'm talking science or law, I can understand where people just like to be, not just to have someone pointed out for being dumb, but also pointing out the reason why they're dumb. And so, I do intend on covering Sov sits and First Amendment auditors on my channel, both. And thank you, Holder 333. I appreciate it. And let's see, NANA says, yeah, I heard that too, brother. Yeah, I was just getting a bit burned out. And that's why, I was so super anti Flat Earth when I stepped away from doing content with Fight, is because I was just ready to take something else on. I was done with it. I just wanted to move on. Let's see, Chris Durham, music channel says, Team Skeptic, although I understand you're not wanting to argue with Flurf anymore, I miss hearing you talk about physics, relativity, and quantum mechanics, stuff I don't really understand. I miss that too. I do miss talking about part of my new place I'm going to be taking, because Karen's won't last forever. One thing, well,
Yes, they
Johnny
will.
says they will, but I have a feeling it's going to be more of the anti-vax Karens once once we get about a year out from the masks. We'll see the anti-maskers going away. The anti-vaxxers will step up. But we're not done talking
because
about physics anymore, guys. We are
by the
still planning on having that as a key part of calling stupid people out. A lot of the stupid people I intend on calling out in the future are the anti-science people, the people that get science 100% wrong. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I mean, by the end of this year, we're probably going to be out of mask mandate with the number of vaccines that are hitting. So that's when the anti-vax bullshit is going to start kicking in.
K Possum for $5 says, I just learned that there's a conspiracy theory that snow is fake and comes from government planes and chemtrails, etc. There's a conspiracy for absolutely fucking everything. Let's see. C4 for $5 says, woohoo! Hell yeah, Team Skeptic. Good for you, brother. Congrats. Thank you, C4. Another person, like when I talk about the people that have been around forever, yeah, you're one of those that have been around forever, C4. Thank you so much for your help. And then Roxy says, good to see you live when I'm awake. I miss so much, though. Sending love. Thank you, Roxy, and I love you too. You're an amazing person.
I had such a good time on Roxy's channel this morning.
Yeah, it was good. I was there for the whole thing. Rob Bennett for $5. The Navy Squids and U.S. Air Force Zoomies are smarter than the average bears. Me, USAF, 79 to 88. Support educators. I agree 100%. Support educators. And thank you, Rob. I appreciate the super chat, especially coming from a fellow vet. So thank you very, very fucking much. All right, let's continue on with the video.
Well, hang on a second. I want to say one last thing before you remember Jackson. I called him Axon Jackson in a super chat a few, and you didn't know who I was talking about. You remember Jackson?
Yeah, I know Jack. I remember him now. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So he and I had a bet. This was at the beginning of COVID. You know, he's a huge conspiracy nut. But we had this bet going. He's like, yeah, this is just the beginning to the purge. I say, what? You know the movie The Purge, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So he honestly thinks that was going to happen. It's like, yeah, that's just, you know, all this is just the beginning of the purge. See, they were putting masks on, and all of a sudden they're going to announce the purge. And I said, I bet how much time do you want? It was, oh, by this time next year. I said, done. I'll take the bet. I said, I'll tell you what, time next year. And it was just over a year ago. I said, if that time comes and they announce the purge, I'll buy all your rounds for your pistol, and you know, you can do what you need to do. I said, if not, we're going to the casino and you're picking up the tab.
Did he take
so
you
guess
up?
who gets? I reminded him, like, hey, he's all, yeah, I should have waited and made it to like 2025 because that's how long it takes these simulations to get into full effect. This was all just a what do you say? It was a dress rehearsal for the real thing.
Oh,
I said,
wow.
Turning off DFW is a dress rehearsal for the real thing. Wouldn't you think that would have been more appropriate in like New York or California or something?
David Oliver for £2 says, I'm getting my COVID jab tomorrow. Good for you, man. I'm waiting for the vaccine to become available for my group of people. We still have a lot of elderly people that do need to get theirs first, though. I'll be okay with that. All right, so here we go. We're going to continue on with the video.
If I'm uploading only once a week, then the people that watch my videos, they're going to want to watch my videos since they only get me once a week. So they're going to click on it. So a bigger percent of my audience is clicking on my videos. So
not to mention, once a week is still 52 videos a year. That's a lot.
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
YouTube will promote it. If I'm uploading daily and I upload a topic that people aren't interested in, well, then those people are going to be like, all right, we can just wait one more day, so they won't click on the video. So the algorithm will be like, this video is worse, and the video won't do as well. But on the flip side, daily definitely does have a place on the internet, and on YouTube in particular, because consistency and momentum are such a huge thing, so a few good videos can give you a great week of uploads, whereas you don't have as much momentum if you upload less frequently. The catch-22 is both systems are inherently flawed, and both have upsides, and at the end of the day, it falls to you. But where this really becomes difficult is, let's say I'm a channel that uploads once a month, and I just really want to make a video talking about a certain topic. I can't. I am forced into the straitjacket of uploading once a month videos that consistently follow the same theme, and people recognize this. You have Dream, a YouTuber with 15 million subscribers that gets like 20-30 million views every single Minecraft video. He made a song recently and made an entirely new channel for the song because we are living in a state of absolute fear that the algorithm will hate you. And this dude is too big to fail at this point. I don't know, maybe he'll cheat on a speedrun or something.
Now, I agree with that too. And that's what another thing I want to say is if you're a content creator and you're looking to branch off, you might be better off branching off into a brand new channel. Just start a new channel, especially if you're taking your content 180 degrees in the opposite direction. It may be in the best interest of your bigger channel to get a smaller channel to do the new content on. Which is something I toyed with. I haven't really opened it up. Of course, I did my After Dark. That's a good thing to compare it to, the After Dark channel. The After Dark channel is a channel that is made for my gaming. Well, yeah, I would love to game on this channel. I would love to, but you wouldn't love it. I mean, there's people out there. Obviously, I have 100 watching now. When I go do my gaming streams, I have 30 watching. And earlier we had 250, and that's more my appropriate number to it's like we had 250 watching that stream. When I do a gaming stream, I have 30 people watching. It's not because 220 people don't like me or only like me under certain circumstances. It's just not their cup of tea. So if I was to do gaming streams on this channel, it would kill my channel, especially in the algorithm, because they'd say, oh, well, nobody's watching this. I do see larger channels that don't have a gaming channel, that they do random gaming streams. Tipster's a good one. I watch his stuff. If I go watch one of his main streams, he gets, 150 to 300 people watching. But then when he goes to his gaming streams, it's 50 to 100 at most. And you have to ask yourself, why do so many people not want to watch him when he games, but do want to watch him when he's talking about drama? Well, that's because they're there for drama. So you have to, for me, I benefit from having the gaming channel.
Right.
Thing and they'll get canceled. But aside from that, I can't imagine. So that doesn't just make it difficult for channels that upload monthly. Channels that upload daily have a really hard time making a big video. For example, me and this video you're watching right now. So many hours of research, of talking to other YouTubers, of writing went into this video. And since I upload pretty much daily, it doesn't matter that this video took weeks to make. YouTube is gonna view it as a daily upload and not promote it anyway. I mean, unless you guys share it around, because I think it's really important for everyone to see this, whether they're starting as YouTube, they want to know more about the YouTube system, or whether they just want to not feel alone and that everyone on YouTube is suffering equally, except for the people that are too big to suffer, that YouTube really likes. You see, YouTube has devolved into a platform that you cannot make the videos you want to make anymore, out of fear that you will be squashed by this impending doom that most channels befall. Unless they're really big, almost every channel dies. And this is why, with the dead sub counts, with just losing interest, with falling out of relevancy and feeling bad about yourself, YouTube is just built different, and it do be like that. Now, so many different things need to be weighed when it comes to uploading any video. YouTube promotes videos that are monetized because YouTube wants to make money. So if you get a video demonetized, it won't do well. But also, if you have more ads in your video and more people watch your ads, YouTube will promote it more. Videos that are 8 minutes or longer have the ability to have mid-roll ads in the video. And if it has mid-roll ads in the video, YouTube makes more money because YouTube makes about 50% of whatever we make. All the ads that play on our channel, well, YouTube takes half of whatever they're paying, or like 45%.
70 or 30%.
Like
30%.
Like
We get
yeah.
70.
Exodus to Pornhub, a site that actually cares. I'm only half joking.
Pornhub.
So here's what you're thinking, right? Well, I'm just gonna upload a really long video with a lot of mid-roll ads. Not even for the money, but just so YouTube could promote the freaking video. And that's a great mindset. You know what? I respect that. You're trying to work out the algorithm and let it fit in your back pocket. That is a huge brain, 5,000 IQ, Among Us vent strategy like I've never heard before. Just make a long video every once in a while so that video could pop off and help you with some momentum. Well, I mean, that's a good theory if it wasn't for, the algorithm. YouTube does something else aside from just wanting long videos. It bases your videos watch time compared to all your other videos watch time as well. And you're thinking, well, that's great. If I do a 10-minute video every day and an hour-long video every month, the hour-long video will have a crap ton of watch time compared to my other videos and it'll do well. Oh, but you're forgetting something important. The thing you're forgetting is the other videos. You see, if let's say your average watch time on an hour-long video is 30 minutes and your average watch time on a 10-minute long video is 6 minutes, then they're gonna be like, yes, the average watch time on this video was 6 minutes when your last video's average watch time was 30 minutes. This 10-minute video must suck for that reason. We will not be promoting it any longer. So you're forced to keep one-upping yourself. You gotta make a 10-minute video one day and then a 12-minute video to get get more watch time the next day, and then a 14-minute video, and then a 20-minute video, and a 30-minute video, and an hour-long video. And at that point, 10-minute videos ain't gonna cut it anymore because they have way less than average watch time compared to your other stuff. If you look at my channel right now, most of my videos are around 20 minutes long, I'd say. All the videos that are approximately 13 minutes, no matter what the topic is, they do not get promoted because their average watch time is less than the average watch time of my other videos. This is so sad. Welcome to the Catch-22 chapter. I love this chapter because this is the chapter that literally kicks my behind every single video I make. If it's long, it means my other videos won't do well. And if it's short, it means it won't do well compared to the long ones. But if it's long, people might not want to click on it. So the people that watch it make the average watch time for my channel harder to match with my other videos. And if they don't watch it, then YouTube isn't going to promote it because the click-through rate is bad. So at the end of the day, consistency is king. Tap into a kid audience, make the same video every goddamn day on a trend that will never die. And your channel will do great. You won't feel fulfilled. You'll feel like crap and no one will respect you. But hey, maybe you can start a corporate channel as a business. That would be a fun idea, right? I mean, look at Watch Mojo. Oh, look at Watch Mojo. Wait a second, they have 10 million subscribers and their videos are doing terribly. They get less than 1% of their subscribers to view their videos. In fact, that's pretty bad. What's going on? Well, you see, they have 10 million people subscribed to them that don't want to watch their content, so they don't click on them. So the click-through rate's bad, so YouTube doesn't promote it. Maybe there is no escape from this quicksand, but the butthole gets deeper still. I talked about consistency a lot, and consistency is important. I mean, you might lose your mind being super consistent and not being able to try anything new, but aside from that, I mean, it's sunshine and rainbows. Now, you know that really annoying thing that literally every YouTuber on the platform does, and honestly, if they don't do it, it's respectable, but also kind of stupid at the same time? It's telling the viewers to subscribe, because that works. And that really cringy meme format of, did you know that only 50% of the people that watch my videos are actually subscribed? If you're part of the 50% of the people that watch my videos that aren't subscribed, do subscribe right now. That cringy meme format works. I know you think to yourself, there's no one on the planet that is gonna be watching my video and it's like, wow, I like this guy's video. I would love to see more videos from this guy, but how? How will I ever find this guy again? How will I ever figure out when this person uploads a video? And then the YouTuber's like, remember to hit the bell and subscribe. And they're like, oh my God, my mind has been blown. No one.
What'd you say?
Looks like you're getting called out.
Who's calling me out?
Your best buddy in the world.
Oh, Brainy, are you there? You talking about Unirock?
Yeah.
Why do you think that? I don't think Brainy said anything.
No, Bellatrix did though.
Apparently, I have the power to stop what? Yeah, hashtag Uni is a moron. Agree. Baron Von G for $4.99, just showing some love. I hope you will do some quantum mechanics stuff. You do it very well. Help me get my head around some of the concepts. I love doing science topics, especially science topics that are not readily known. Like we could talk Newton's three laws of motion all day long, but there's not much we can, there's not anything very new that I could give to you, but when we're talking about quantum mechanics, I've actually done a lot of studying on this, and it's something that, fascinated me to the point that I wanted to learn more and more about it and get kind of a better understanding of it. So I plan on still covering anti-sciencers who deny stuff like gravity or, or quantum mechanics. There's people out there that are quantum mechanics deniers. Okay, says he never really covered it. Something about Reds and Steve's power. You and Fight have the power to stop it. Yeah, but I don't tell them what they can and can't do. Like Reds is his own man. Steve is his own man. I'm my own man. Brainy's his own man. Fight's doing his own thing. I mean, they're not. I agree. We have the power to influence other people, like smaller people and smaller creators, to veer away from a topic or a subject. But ultimately, it's not my choice. Help Uni stop hating. Hashtag Uni has a small underline. Fill in the blank, guys.
Shirt size? No, that can't be it.
CEO of Saber says Uni eats his own farts. That's something I truly would believe. That he does eat his own farts, actually. All right. But yeah, and that's another thing he says, you got to ask people to like and subscribe. It sucks. I watch a lot of videos where I don't ever subscribe to the channel, and I watch fuck ton, like the Star Wars channels. I watch so many Star Wars videos, and still I don't subscribe to their channels. I'm not always gonna watch Star Wars videos, but that's my guilty pleasure right now. So YouTube's recommending me a lot of new Star Wars content, but ultimately I'm not gonna stay subscribed to that channel if I do subscribe. Brainy, are you there? He said he was he said he was listening in. Liar.
He's
right,
sniffing his own farts.
And if you're a small YouTube creator, go ahead and get in the habit of telling people to subscribe at the beginning of your videos.
It sucks.
It sucks, but
you got to do it.
It helps. It helps
you
out.
have to play the game.
With the attention span that humans have, you really need to do that. And I need to do it more too, as much as I hate that. Mojo is shit. Yeah, damn right. You know, Uni calling me out, Mike, it doesn't bother me. But when all this first happened, you know, I tried to speak to him. You know, I tried to tell him first off to leave me out of the conversation. Then I reached out to him to talk to him, but I never got any kind of message back, anything back to say, yeah, let's have a conversation. He could have live streamed it. I don't give a fuck. I was just going to go in there and tell him how fucking wrong he was and to leave me the fuck out of it. And he knew that, so it was not worth his time to actually have me on for the live stream.
Ever had that mental conversation, but
he's a moron.
That fact, it helps when the YouTubers tell people to subscribe. Now, remember that consistency thing about how YouTube looks at every single one of your videos and is like, well, your current video isn't doing as well as your previous video. That works with subscribers too. If I do a video where I tell people to subscribe, I'm gonna get more subs off that video than a video where I don't tell people to subscribe. And YouTube's gonna be like, well, I mean, that guy got a sub every 1,000 views on that last video. Why is he getting a sub every 5,000 views on this video? Honestly, this video isn't maintaining a long-term watcher. We should show him something else. And YouTube is like, no, we don't like this video anymore. So you're like, all right, so now I could just be that obnoxious YouTuber guy that tells people to subscribe in every single one of my videos as well, or YouTube will actively hinder the video's performance. Allegedly. Man, that's rough. And to prove that YouTube is keeping track, YouTube added a feature to the YouTube Studio that every single YouTuber has on their computer and at their phone, and they're looking at it probably 10 times a day, every day, or more. Who knows? But I call this the mental health radar. Yes, the mental health radar is a YouTube feature that has been added to everyone's device. And you're probably like, the mental health radar? I'm a YouTuber and I don't know what you're talking about. It's that feature that's literally smack in the middle of the front page every time you open the YouTube Studio. It's that 1 out of 10 feature. If you're not familiar, this is the most insufferable and infuriating but also dopamine addicting feature on the entire platform for every YouTuber. Every time you upload a video, it tells you how well this video is performing compared to your previous 9 uploads. It gives you a 1 out of 10 ranking to a 10 out of 10 ranking compared to how previous videos did in this time frame. Your video is performing 9th best out of the last 10 videos you uploaded within the first 2 hours of uploading. Your viewers are less interested in you. That's literally what it says. Thank you, YouTube.
That's exactly what it fucking
says. It's gotten to the point that so many YouTubers I know, their mental health for the day is dependent on if that video is above 5 or below 5. Because if it's below 5, it means your next few videos aren't going to be doing as well as your last few.
Stop it 1 second.
Above 5, well, then your next few videos are probably going to be doing better than your last few.
I'll pause it for 1 second. Like, one of the things, like, on that exact note, like, one of the things when I first started, before they dropped the Flat Earth Gauntlet, I would get those emails where you get an email and it would show you a rocket ship taking off and it would say, congratulations, this video is really connecting with viewers. And you'd get that fucking rush of dopamine, like, oh, that's awesome. And you'd have that little pop-up would come up in your studio. Oh, congratulations. Little fucking confetti would come down from it. Oh, you're so awesome. You're
when it was
number
number 1.
Great. And then they chopped the Flat Earth and fucking at its kneecaps. And I've never received one of those messages ever since. And I will tell you, I get like FD, and I don't blame FDFE for this. He's just excited. I know why he sends them to me. But he'll send me, laying in bed after he puts a video out on a Sunday or Saturday or whatever, and he'll send me a screenshot from his studio, and it has that exact rocket ship and confetti, and it's like, oh, your video is being seen by X many more people than normal. You're really on fire. And it fucking annoys me, not because, like, I'm so happy that he's getting success, but it fucking drives me insane because I used to get those. and then they just kneecapped my entire subject matter, and I've never got them ever since. And it's not, I believe fully, it has nothing to do with my content and has everything to do with the analytics.
Yeah, no, they
want to crush me.
Well, okay, so YouTube wants to keep even the YouTuber around, you know? They don't want you leaving. That's the whole idea about YouTube being is how does YouTube gauge whether they're successful or not? They gauge that they're successful by saying, did that person stay on YouTube longer than they did yesterday? So if they did, then they say, why did that person stay on longer? And they ask themselves these questions, and all these questions end up getting built into their algorithm on whether they're going to promote a channel or not. So let's say your video, someone watches your video, and let's say 50% of the audience from watching your video leaves YouTube. Well, they don't want to promote those videos because those videos encourage users to go somewhere else. Or if they're watching one of your videos and then they decide to watch one of mine after yours, then they'll say, okay, his users like this content creator. And then they'll do the same thing for my videos as well. They'll say, are they watching another Team Skeptic video, or are they watching a Professor Dave video, or are they watching an FTFE video? And it even has that metric in there now where it says your video, your viewers also watch these content creators. And that's a good way to find out how to, like, let's say I have a video. One of my people is Sir Sick, right? Sir Sick is one of the people that when people watch my video, what they also watch is Sir Sick's videos. So me and Sir Sick, we pull from a lot of the same audience. So we can actually do stuff, whether it be collaborations or whether it be covering the same topics or the same videos themselves. It's conducive to both of our channels for us to both be doing that. It's a very powerful metric inside of the analytics, to see who's watching or who they're watching besides your videos. And it's usually content creators that are larger than you as well. All right, here we go. But yeah, he's right. That 1 out of 10 shit, that is a fucking mental health metric right there.
At the time of me recording this video, I made a video about an extremely controversial and edgy anime that just came out that a lot of people are talking about. So that was doing 2 out of 10. That's extremely good, and I was very happy. The next video I uploaded right after that was showing that edgy anime to controversial YouTubers. It's a hilarious video that I'm super proud of. The jokes were extremely edgy and not YouTube friendly at all, which is why it started off doing well, and now it's not doing as well anymore, as YouTube realized, wait a second, this dude just collabs with YouTubers that are making rape jokes every 2 seconds, which is not really okay, but it's funny regardless, okay? I'm sorry. I know I put a trigger warning for a reason. I'm sorry. But it was a funny video. I had to show this really edgy anime to edgy YouTubers. It was just too good. But the video was performing 2 out of 10. The video I uploaded after that is another video I was extremely proud of. It's a video where I made a new Discord account, and I went into Discord dating servers, and I kept telling people I was 15 years old, and all these 25-year-old dudes were still asking for nudes. It was basically Discord predator hunting. I'm the Chris Hansen of Discord right now, and I'm really excited to do another one of those because it was hilarious, and I probably saved people in the long run. Like, I actively did good for society, which is insane. But that video also did 2 out of 10. And now I'm like, whoa, wait a second, hold on. All 3 of those videos did 2 out of 10. I'm happy because obviously your mental health is completely dependent on if your video is numbered out of 10. Are you relevant or are you not relevant? But I just get 3 2 out of 10s in a row. I know that within the next week, I'm going to have a few consecutively really bad days because these 3 videos are going to dominate the top charts of my next few uploads. So I know that my next week is probably going to be flooded with 7 out of 10s, 8 out of 10s, and 9 out of 10s. Not 10 out of 10s because I recently had a 10 out of 10 video that was demonetized. YouTube didn't promote it all, and it did extremely terribly, which ruined the day, but at least I'm not going to have any 10 out of 10s for a while because that video did so poorly. You see what I mean? This is the mental health feature that YouTube added to let everyone know exactly how their mental health is every day. Thank you, YouTube. Extremely cool. But being that it judges the video based on all the previous videos, it gives you all the stats, and it tells you how YouTube's algorithm actively looks at the video. It tells you, oh, you got less subscribers on this video than a previous video. You got less views. You got less clicks. It got clicked less and recommended. It has less average watch time. Well, maybe it's a 2-minute long skit. Well, why is it that every YouTuber that actually does skits has a channel devoted to skits? Aside from Gus Johnson, he's an exception, and I have a whole theory as to why, but it's really not the point. Because if someone does a 10-minute video every day and then uploads a 2-minute skit, even if the skit is like goddamn hilarious and on a skit channel would get 1 million views, because because those go viral because they get rewatched. So if something gets rewatched, it has over 100% average watch time, which is amazing, and it'll be promoted, but it has over 100% average watch time, but that's still only 20% of the watch time of your average video on your channel. So YouTube's gonna be like, ah yes, this video did really well looking at it in a vacuum, but we don't do things in a vacuum here, sir. We don't really care about the quality of your content. You see, your average video has a watch time of 10 minutes, and this only has a watch time of 2 minutes. That's bad. We're not promoting this. Thank you, YouTube. Extremely cool. Now, it's not impossible for it to blow up. I mean, it could get crazy amounts of rewatches, or it could get shared through Reddit or something like that, but base YouTube algorithm does not want that, and that's what really matters. Now, because of these constant up and downs that every single creator faces, every time someone's in a down and in a rut, it's extremely hard to get back in an up. The algorithm is actively working against you while you're in a down, so you need to do something to do something even bigger than you've ever done before to get back into the algorithm. Until that happens, for those weeks of downer period, you feel like that is the end. The amount of times I felt like my channel is officially dead, only 2 months later for a video to do well and then many more to follow, are innumerable. When I first started doing decently on YouTube, there were so many times where I thought my career has ended. And it's not just me, it's everyone. When someone's in a rut, they don't think they'll ever get out of that rut. And it's a crushing feeling. Everything you've been working to so hard, it's over. That thing you love, you can no longer pursue that. Or, well, you could pursue it, but you'll no longer attain it. Everyone feels that way when their channel is in a downer. And whenever the channel's doing well, in the back of your mind, you're like, all right, this will last for a month maybe, but I'm gonna be in that rut again. And that rut is so hard. It's an indescribable, torturous feeling that makes YouTubers only really able to relate to other YouTubers. Despite having close friends and family that know nothing about YouTube, that are all too eager and happy to share my suffering and tell me like, yo, it's gonna be good, fam. Don't worry, you're making money and stuff. No one could relate to the soul-crushing, falling ins and outs of YouTube relevancy and how.
Now, I want to, you know, I can't stop and talk about this portion of the video or this feeling enough, because man, I've been there, you know, like laying down at night, closing my eyes, pulling the covers over my head and just thinking to myself, what can I do tomorrow? You know, what's gonna to get me back in good favor with the search? What's gonna get me back in good favor with the algorithm?
Actually, what keeps me up a lot of times, that's what got me into that where I had to, like, the last week I had to go to sleep. Well, I was working too, but then when I was done, I was still just so foggy, because what would happen is I'd come and I'd try to do content, because like I want my channel to do well. It's something that's on my mind always. And you come in here and I'm spent. And so then instead of just going to bed, you know, I want to do something. So I sit here in this like belligerence, like I'm going to get something done. And it's almost ridiculous, because it's like a drug addict trying to get his fix, because like I desperately want to do something, work on the channel, but I'm so tired that I'm getting a fraction of what I could get done if I would just go to sleep, get up the next day and then do the work, you know, well rested. But it just, that mental health thing, I've literally gotten into bed going like, I'm going to bed early, and I've gotten into bed. And while I'm laying in bed, I'm thinking, oh man, like I should be editing a video. I could be, next thing you know, I'm downstairs dragging myself out of bed and setting up a green screen at like fucking midnight. And it's like, you know, it's a problem. It becomes a mental health thing. It becomes an issue.
Oliver Mary Jane said, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm kind of in between some of this stuff here, looking over at this daunting video that I have to edit and bounce down and upload for tomorrow. And it's, you know, there are times where I've been up to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning fixing something that didn't work right. And then you think about it, and what am I really doing it for? Like 200 views?
Yeah.
But it's that, no, I gotta be consistent, you know, and I have to do this on a timeline so I can build the channel.
You'll never get the 500 views if you don't do it for 200 first, and then 1,000.
Exactly.
But if you don't get to 500, you'll never get to 1,000. You never get to 1,000, you'll never get to 10,000. I mean, it's something that and then I don't think like, I wish YouTube was a little bit more honest about this, you know, to the content creators on their platform. I wish they would come out and say, look, you know, let's get something straight. You know, you're not going to make it. Let's just get that straight right now. You need to have the mindset that you're not going to make it, or at least the immediate goal needs to be to understand that you're not going to make it. And I'm not saying you don't have the chance to make it, but that's like buying a lottery ticket and saying, I'm going to win the lottery this time, or I'm going to hit 4 out of 6 numbers and get any kind of return on that. If you go into it with that attitude, you're just going to lose money and you're going to be upset about it. You need to go in saying, I'm not going to make it. I'm just going to do my own content, have fun with it. And hopefully, if you're good enough, people will subscribe. If you're entertaining, if you eject an emotion from somebody, good, bad, or other, any kind of emotion, then they're going to subscribe because they want to see it again. Whether it's a hate subscribe or a love subscribe, it doesn't matter. It's a new subscription. Maybe you'll win that person over with your content, but you have to get through those hard times, which include the times when you're only getting 200 views a video, or, with me, when I first started, it took me almost 3 months before my first video hit 1,000 views. And I was like, 1,000 views, I've made it, I've made it to the 1K view mark on one video. But then it was forever until I was hitting 1,000 consistently, and then 5,000 consistently, and then 10,000 consistently. And then sure enough, I put out some other content and they started chopping my shit down. Now, there was a time recently when I was only getting 5,000 views on my first 24 hours in a video. That was unheard of. And I go and look at my impressions. I only got 16,000 impressions. I have 40,000 subs. What do you mean I only have 16,000 impressions after 24 hours? Are you kidding me? But, there's other aspects to it, and he's going to cover that here in a minute. So I'll just play the video.
Every single time you feel like it is your last time. People wonder, why is it that you have so many YouTubers that fall off the deep end? You got Jake Paul, who started off making wholesome vlogs and turning into lighting neighbors' pools on fire. But you had Logan Paul, making funny, inspiring content for people to be themselves, and turning into a guy who walked into a forest and filmed a man that just took his own life. Well, it's easy to understand from a YouTuber's standpoint. Everyone that was talking about that Logan Paul story was like, oh man, I can't understand how someone could actually do that, how someone could lose all of his empathy and do something so subhuman. I mean, I found it funny that everyone said that, because everyone did look down on him for doing something horrible, but at the same time, I think almost every YouTuber knew where he was coming from exactly. When you're making YouTube videos, you constantly need to one-up yourself, because if you do the same thing and you're not one-upping yourself, sooner or later your fan base will become less interested, causing less click-throughs, causing less promotion, causing your channel to not get any growth, causing your channel to die, and causing you to become irrelevant. So you need to constantly one-up yourself. Someone who's already known for doing bombastic, spontaneous, and downright annoying things in public, yes, seeing how that can spiral out of control is so not far from the imagination at all. The dude needed to one-up himself, and eventually you see the views, you see the recognition, you see the fans, you see the growth, you see the money, you lose sight of who you are. And in that chase, in that impossible chase where you can never plateau, or you're dead, you eventually become something that you do not like in yourself. From a PR perspective, I don't understand how Logan Paul thought that was a good idea, but from a human perspective, I could so see how the YouTube algorithm in itself fuels people to keep doing this. Mr. Beast, as
yeah, that's a good point too. I talk to Brainy about it a lot. We talk about being, part of being successful on here in the manner that we are is self-deprecation. You have to be able to self-deprecate a bit, and the thing is that if you get complacent with that, or if you do something so much that it becomes worn out, then it loses its beneficial factors, like this right here. If I did like today, if I did a shock stream tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day, within about 2 weeks, people will get tired of it.
To be old.
Yeah, to get old. And I don't want it to get old, because I want it to be a unique one, like I said, one stream a month where I'm having a unique experience with my subscribers, where they can actively feel like they're being a part of what's going on in my life, whether it's just shocking the shit out of me or whatever the case may be. They feel like they're a part of that. They don't, if you do it all the time, it loses its lackluster. And then what happens is I say, what's next? I've now got to do something to up that, to top that.
Yeah.
What do I do now? And eventually you run out of
you shocking your balls.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll run out of good ideas, and you'll start turning to bad ideas. And I think that's the point that he's trying to make, is that, from a human perspective, from a YouTube content creator perspective, you can kind of see why he did what he did. you know, because it was shocking. It's something that gave his channel life, and it was a bad idea. He should have never, ever said that or done that, you know, going into the forest and filming the dead person. He should have never done that. But he had to up his acting like a jackass inside of Japan. Yeah, that was good. Everybody liked it. I didn't. I thought it was really fucking stupid. But since he did that, and then all of a sudden you're looking at him like, okay, well, what's next? Well, he has to come up with an idea too, and it can't be worse than his last idea. It always needs to be better. So what did he do? He said, well, I'll go out to this forest, someplace that's morally reprehensible, but oh well, people will love it because it's clickbaity. And I think that's something that we all fall into a little bit. I like to self-deprecate, but I do have my limits as well. And we have $5 from Baron Von G. Says, Brainy Beaver, you there, Brainy?
Yes, I was muted. What's up?
Okay. Brainy Beaver, can you please finally put the Canadian bacon debate to rest and tell people that it's just tenderloin? Oh man.
There's Canadians don't eat, like, I don't know if there's a myth out there that we eat ham and think it's actually bacon, because we don't call it Canadian bacon here. Every once in a while, a restaurant might say, "Oh, and Canadian bacon," but I mean, it's like calling it an eagle in America, an American eagle, every time you see it. Which I don't know, maybe you do. But all I'm getting at is we go to the store and we have ham and bacon. And the bacon, when I say bacon, I'm talking about the same crispy, delicious morsels of pig fatty stomach that everybody else is talking about. Now, ham, that's that pink shit. That's that goddamn pink stuff. I'm not a big fan of ham. I'll eat it. But, yeah.
He's a much more wholesome YouTuber, I'd say. This dude got tens of millions of views with videos saying donating $10,000 to streamers. If he would make that video again, it would not do well. You see, now he's one-upped himself so much, he needs to make a video donating $1 million to streamers. That will do well. Whoa, he's never donated $1 million to streamers before. That's just an extremely linear example of what I mean by you're on a hamster wheel that is never ending, where you're always running uphill, constantly needing to one-up yourself, or you fade into irrelevancy due to the algorithm itself. The way the promotion system on YouTube is working, it's to get more eyeballs on more advertisements. And by doing that, it destroys every single person on the platform's mental health in the process. And to be frank, they don't care. They know, but they don't care. You see, they have their golden boys.
Oh God, I hate
this. Yes, human nature. Oh man, human nature is so fun. I love human nature. Human nature is the explanation for a lot of crap that goes on. Like, for example, competition. Competition, if you think about it from a philosophical, grandstanding perspective, you could be like, wow, competition is kind of toxic. You gotta be the best that you can be. What's the difference what that other person does? Philosophically speaking, competition is sad. But reality speaking, competition drives progress. If you're an extremely competitive athlete, you'll be better than a guy who's just trying to be himself. Well, you want to get into some crazy league or get into school on some scholarship, you got to be better than the competitors. And that's the driving factor. If you're just trying to be the best that you can be without looking at competition, you're not going to do as well. That said, despite the fact that philosophically competition is inherently toxic, it also undeniably causes massive progress. With that out of the way, a competitive nature is natural when it comes to humanity. I'd go as far as to say that Charles Darwin, well-known Pokemon trainer from a while ago, probably touched little boys, but that's irrelevant because his understanding of survival of the fittest, which is in our very own biology, like on a biological level, we thrive when it comes to survival of the fittest. That is literally competition. That's being better than the people around you. And YouTube makes competition really rough. Everyone's obviously looking at everyone else's social blades and everyone else's videos and all that, and every YouTuber that doesn't is probably lying. Everyone I spoke to does.
Oh, yeah, I do
you're
it.
wishing them.
It's on my
homepage.
homepage.
You could do better to optimize yourself, right? But unfortunately, there's an issue. That issue is favoritism because YouTube likes people more than other people. YouTube isn't freaking justice. YouTube wants to make money. And based on their current golden boy, the entire algorithm will shift to their favor. Favoritism sucks. It's so hard. There's nothing more painful than freaking two siblings where one is literally giving better treatment than the other. I mean, any of you guys ever hear of this dude? Kind of well-known guy, well-respected. His name is Joseph. You know, like the son of Jacob from the Bible. Yeah, favoritism landed him in kind of a bad spot. His brothers weren't too happy about that. And when it comes to YouTube, that is everywhere. Now, you probably think I'm talking about like the current heavy hitters. 2016, 2017, Logan Paul and Jake Paul freaking killed it. They were doing so well until they bumped into their controversies and YouTube was like, let's smite that. Everyone that was uploading daily content at that time took a massive hit because YouTube geared the algorithm away from daily content to more high quality videos. Currently, the trend really seems to follow the infrequent uploaders, the Mr. Beasts, the Dreams, the long ass videos that a lot of people are looking forward to, that have massive stakes and show how huge YouTube really is to the entire world. A lot of people just follow the trends of the Golden Boys. The Golden Boys upload every few weeks to great success, and that's sick. They don't have to deal with the penalization that YouTube gives everyone else. And honestly, Mr. Beast seems like an extremely wholesome guy that I like a lot. And shout out to Mr. Beast here, my little guy. Check him out. He's a fun dude. But it feels like crap anyway. You get your videos demonetized because you talked about a recent tragedy, but then you have Jimmy Kimmel talk about a recent tragedy on his late night show, and it's bombarded with advertisements. You talk about COVID and your entire video gets demonetized with warnings everywhere. This video is talking about COVID. I got a video of mine talking about COVID taken down, and I got a community strike for talking about COVID. Meanwhile, every late night show host talks about COVID, gets away with a fine, advertisements on the freaking video. The double standard is rough. The favoritism, it sucks. Because also, despite the fact that you know favoritism is going on, YouTube is trying to become television 2.0, you still have it in your heart that, wait a second, I watched Naruto as a kid, I saw Rock Lee, he was inspiring as hell. He had no magic talents, but through hard work and perseverance, he was able to do it. And that's the lesson that so many things teach you. And while to an extent that's true, with YouTube, it is not. No amount of hard work will make you fall into Susan's grace if Susan doesn't like you. If you're not as mainstream, or you're just a bit too edgy, or you hang out with the wrong crowd, well, YouTube's not gonna be so happy about that. And YouTube keeps making these shifts. Recently, YouTube has been promoting these shorts a hell of a lot. Dude, shorts are freaking everywhere. TikTok blew up and YouTube is gonna be like, bruh, I could be TikTok too. And shorts are doing well as promoting TikTok stars like crazy. The favoritism gets worse because you get a bunch of YouTubers that are already in a good standing as far as YouTube goes and YouTube likes them, and then they collab and it does even better. You got freaking James Charles collabing with a bunch of TikTok stars because, I mean, clout, obviously, because he's like 5 years older than all of them. And the top 5 things on trending will be James Charles video where he collabed with the TikTok star number 1 where he collabed with the other 5 TikTok star number 2, and you get what I'm saying. That's the crap YouTube promotes.
That's so fucking frustrating. It's so frustrating to watch them promote all of those different, like, the videos that are just so vanilla and appeal to such a small group of people. But that group, like a small percentage, is not in the number of viewers they have, but in the number of topics that are around there. They appeal to such a small group, but that small group has so many viewers that they just kind of feed onto each other. Like when I think James Charles did the D'Amelio family, when he was doing videos with them. Their videos promoted his video promoted their videos. If you go look at the trending page, all of the videos up there were just a video about the video that they did. You know, it was the one that they did, and then all of them were just different perspectives on the one that they did, and it was extremely frustrating. How am I supposed to ever get on that if that is what is being promoted? And we all want to be on the trending page. That's how Dan blew up. He got a video on the trending page, and when he got the video on the trending page, subscriber after subscriber after subscriber, and then it just continued and continued. It just continued and continued on for, you know, for every video he posted afterwards.
Yep. Lucky little Brit.
But hey, good on him. You know,
I
always say this, and I truly mean it. Dan is lucky, and not in that he won the lottery, but that luck, in my opinion, is when skill and opportunity come together. You know, an unlucky person is someone who has no skill and then gets put in a situation where the opportunity is there but can't take advantage of the opportunity. Another unlucky person is someone who has the skill but just never gets the opportunity. When you have both, you will succeed, and that's to me the definition of luck.
So Arthur Ashe said it best when he said, "The more that I practice, the luckier I get."
He said what now?
The more that I practice, the luckier I get. Arthur Ashe was a tennis player.
Yeah, but
And
that's because he's playing the game, so the opportunity's there, and the more he plays, the better his skill gets. He's
right.
luckier and luckier and luckier. Okay, I'm sorry, I thought you had something else.
No, that was it. Yeah.
It's rough. It's rough to watch. It's rough to be the problem child of YouTube. And you're constantly trying to explain to yourself, what's the difference between my video and that person's video? You see, we both worked so hard. We both made similar stuff. Why is that guy's video promoted and mine isn't? Well, I mean, luck is definitely part of it, but it can't always be luck, can it? Well, you will never know. I can list to you a whole bunch of channels that I think are blacklisted to certain levels of intensity. That's not what this video is going to be about. I mean, I think mine is definitely blacklisted to a certain level of intensity. Absolutely, without even a shadow of a doubt in my mind. But I was talking to some ordinary gainers, absolute mad lad, great dude, and he had a very interesting outlook on it. He was telling me that he doesn't think some channels are blacklisted. He thinks the issue is every channel is suppressed. The only difference is how much they're suppressed. I thought that was such an interesting mindset to have, to look at YouTube through that lens, because it's probably true. As much as you want to theorize, as much as you want to contemplate, there's so much that's out of your hand. But the issue is there's still so much in your hands. So you can tell yourself that it's luck that you're not doing well, but then you start wondering if it's a flaw in you yourself, and it's not just luck. And the self-reflection is extremely, extremely difficult to handle when there's no answers to your questions. YouTube doesn't like you. They make that clear because you can't contact YouTube in any way. You just have to deal with their terrible Twitter Team YouTube support system where they just answer copy pastas essentially in your replies. A friend of mine, Sid Snap, recently did a video where she was sponsored by somebody and linked it in the description, and YouTube took down the video and gave her a strike, saying that the link in the description was spam when it was literally the sponsor. And the sponsor on Twitter backed her up and said, yes, we are the sponsor for this video. So after reviewing it, YouTube responded with the copy pasta in her replies saying, no, we're maintaining this decision. The link is spam. I'm sorry. You get a strike. Slap on the wrist. And unfortunately, and this has been corroborated by way too many people, a channel with a strike, all the other videos don't do as well because YouTube views them as problematic. Oh, you have a community guideline strike? You are a problematic individual. We will no longer be promoting your videos so much. My boy Oompaville, absolute legend, tried something pretty fascinating, I'd say, and it seems to have worked. His channel was in a rut for a few months in a row, and he was having it rough, man. I love Oompaville, and it's always rough to see him in a bad vibe. Like, in June, he gained 170,000 subscribers, which is insane. And then, for the next 6 months, he gained between 30 and 50,000. But right now, he gained 130,000 subs in the last month. Insane! And he doesn't even know what is different. Well, I have a theory what's different. In December of 2020, he decided he was going to do something very interesting, and I'm just mentioning this right here. If anyone else is willing to do it, I'm considering doing it just out of curiosity to see if it'll work. He deleted 56 million views worth of videos. He deleted every single video on his entire channel, which had like over 700 uploads. He deleted every single video that was demonetized, copyrighted, striked, or anything of that sort.
I've actually, after watching this, I kind of thought about that, and it really does make a little bit of sense. Let's say YouTube, so first off, you have to understand every channel has what's called a P score, and your P score is what drives whether YouTube promotes you or not. The channel that has the highest P score on YouTube is Will Smith. Okay, obviously, he's an entertainer. He doesn't put out edgy content when he puts content out, and there's a fan base that loves him already. So it automatically dropped for him. Putting out very vanilla, nothing spectacular, is really going to work for him. For me, I've put out videos that have been yellowed. They're demonetized. Makes me think, should I go and delete those videos? I mean, nobody's watching them. I can pull my analytics up. I went and checked my analytics, in fact, to see how many of those views came from demonetized videos in the past hour. In fact, I can look at it real quick. Hold on, let's see. I think it's I think I can, okay. So then I'm going to just go down. I know which of my videos are not demonetized. And when I get to the first one, or not monetized, when I get to the first one, I will, I'll stop it. All right. Karen wants to expose her kids to COVID and freaks out. That was demonetized. Over the past hour, it's gotten 2 views. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 2 views. My channel over the past hour has gotten 670, and we'll take away the 200 that are on this live stream right here. 470 views. 2 of them 0.5% have come from a video that was demonetized. People ain't watching that video, and that's okay. They don't have to.
Right. But how old is that one?
A few months old.
Yeah.
Not very old, not super old, not really young, but a couple months old. But the thing is that what if YouTube is looking and saying, well, 15% of his videos are demonetized videos. If I remove those videos, I could put them on my gaming channel. And if they work, they work. They don't. No big deal. But at the same time, when I put them on the gaming channel, at least I'm taking them off of a channel. They're not watching them here anyway. I mean, I'm not offended by the fact that people aren't watching. I got all my, like literally my most recent Flat Earth video is beyond that. Even all of my green Flat Earth videos, all of them get 2 views an hour or less, which is nuts that I have all the people. It just doesn't promote my stuff for Flat Earth, which is fine. Plus, Flat Earth is not really being a highly searched term right now. But I thought about doing that.
Maybe you should, just purge them out, put them on a drive somewhere that we can have them. If
I'll
you
put them
want
on my gaming channel.
Move them on the gaming channel. Sure.
I'm not interested in growth on that channel. That channel is just there for me to fuck off on, so I don't alienate my viewers over here. So if I go put that on there, it might gain me a few subs, and at the same time, it might not. It might just say, they might sit there in oblivion and just never get watched, which is fine too.
Cleaned all that out, and YouTube started promoting him again. Wow! If that isn't interesting, I don't know what is. You can't say it's a coincidence either, because it's literally a month ago, right? Like, that's not a coincidence. That's YouTube actively blacklisting people based on their histories, which are bullcrap anyway, because most of the strikes are ill-founded. Copyright on YouTube is a joke. I made a video a week ago talking about gender equality, and I'm even scared to utter those words in this video right now. That video was me basically saying how a true advocate of gender equality is someone that treats men and women equally. If you would drop kick a man for doing something, you should drop kick a woman for doing the same thing. And it was a joke, and it's hilarious. Haha, very funny. That video is currently demonetized for hate speech. Hate speech. What? YouTube is not an advocate of gender equality. Confirmed. But that's insane. That doesn't deserve to be flagged, and it was reviewed and confirmed to be demonetized for that reason. Are you kidding me? And because of that, I know other videos aren't going to be doing as well, because YouTube plays favorites. Why promote someone who has a hate speech video, which isn't hate speech, but they labeled it that way, when you could promote someone who is boring as hell that doesn't have a hate speech video? Sounds so obvious. You always feel like the problem child, because even the people that are doing well in their own right, they're not going to be comparing themselves to people that are doing worse than them. They're obviously going to be comparing themselves to people that are doing better than them, and they're going to be like, why are they doing better than me? I mean, I'm super happy for that dude that he's doing well right now. Honestly, I have a lot of friends that are doing better on YouTube right now than I am, and I'm super happy for them. Oompaville's killing it right now. Kudos to him. He's hilarious. But I have to wonder, what is he doing that I'm not? Maybe it's because I am inherently worse. Maybe it's because YouTube doesn't like me and I will never grow from here. Maybe it's because the people that watch me have lost interest in me. Maybe it's because I am irrelevant. Who knows? There's no answer. There's only question. And there's no one at YouTube to talk to either. No one at YouTube to even care about you even a little bit, which just makes it all the better. Your employer hates you and literally just sees dollar signs when they look at you, and it makes you feel like crap. Until now, glad to get this off my chest. Honestly, this video is a video made for my competition because I'm happy for everyone to do better on YouTube. Like, that would make me happy, and I hope this gets shared around, and I hope people see it because they think it would be useful to A, know that you're not alone mentally, and B, know all this info that I gathered and maybe get your videos to do better. But unfortunately, the current chapter is not as fun as the previous ones. All the previous chapters, fun as they were, yeah, we were having lots of fun with those. Those were all talking about the algorithm working perfectly without any hitches. We promote good content. We don't promote bad content, or at least that's what they say, even though it's absolutely not true. That is the algorithm working as planned to churn out more and more content for more and more eyeballs. But alas, the current chapter is when the algorithm hiccups. In all of the previous chapters, we talked about how the algorithm works in its base form. This is Super Saiyan algorithm we're talking about now. Copyright, demonetization, age restriction, community guidelines, claims, strikes, and everything else unfair and broken about this platform. Now, I don't inherently disagree with any of these things. There needs to be a copyright system in place. Like, Like, I don't want to just re-upload episodes of freaking Tom and Jerry and get millions of views and get paid for it. That's stealing from the copyright holder. I totally get that. Community guidelines make sense. I mean, I totally get that you can't just, you know, upload pornography on YouTube. That's not what YouTube's about. So if someone were to do that, it makes sense for them to get a community guideline strike. Demonetization is something I completely disagree with because it's essentially just YouTube's damage control where they try their absolute hardest to make the advertisers that are paying them money happy while absolutely screwing over the middle class of YouTubers. And the worst part is, there are no rules to any of this. Living in the internet age, boomers don't know about the internet, okay? So if they're the ones making up the copyright rules, obviously the copyright system is gonna be broken. If I hum Despacito for 3 seconds, my video shouldn't get claimed and all of the money that I would make in this video should go to the Despacito guys. That makes no sense. YouTube also doesn't tell you all the parts in your videos that are copyrighted. They'll only tell you one part. So you could fight that one part and then after you win that fight, they'll just claim a different part of your video. They could claim a 10-second chunk and after you win that fight, they'll just claim a different 10-second chunk. That's when they have founded claims, at least somewhat founded. But the copyright system is so broken, I could literally go to any video about any topic and just copyright it for no reason. Imagine PewDiePie makes a video talking about anime, and I'm like, wait a second, I talk about anime. I could file a copyright claim for PewDiePie's video, and the way YouTube works is they don't want to get in trouble with any of the big media companies, so they let every claim work immediately, and then, only then, it could be fought. I could claim PewDiePie's video where he talks about anime,
Yeah,
and I
this
could say,
is true.
I am the anime dude here, and I will win, and I will make all the money that that video is making until the claim drops. Then PewDiePie can fight the claim, and then I have 30 days to respond. So I can make all the money that that video made off the first 30 days, which is the vast majority of what that video is going to be making. Yeah, sounds broken. It is.
Well, this is
didn't
not
they
exactly
change that?
true. Yeah, I was gonna say this is not exactly true. I think this is something he misses on because now they just hold the money in escrow. So
Right.
they just they treat it as if it's a fully monetized video. And before, the way it used to work is the other people would get the money for it until it was completed. And then once it was completed, you would get the money for it. And the thing is that most videos blow up in the first 2 days and then they get hardly any views after that. You know, 2 to 3 days and then it's done. You might as well go ahead and put out another video at that point. So,
Yeah,
but
Universal
it's
Music
changed,
and
you're right.
Universal Movies are they're the worst about it. So you know that awesome clip with Tony screaming, "Yes, I fucking can."
Yeah.
So with Bob the Builder, I had that, and it's the Bob the Builder portion is exactly 6 seconds, but UMG copyright, they claimed it.
Damn.
And I said, nah, that's bullshit. This is classic fair use. Even by the vague ass YouTube rules, this is fair use.
And Rob
And UMG
Bennett,
knows it too, right? They know it because on other Universal stuff that they've claimed where it was over 6 seconds, they immediately responded and said, no, this is not you, this is our intellectual property, blah 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 blah. Even though it was reaction video or a commentary video on a movie, like, no, we're still claiming it. This one here, they're not saying shit about it because they know they're full of it. They know they're in the wrong on this one because it is less than 6 seconds.
yeah, and Rob Bennett says, Team Skeptic, I must say sometimes you're a bit crass. You're a very intelligent guy. Sometimes you can find you sound more than disagreeable. Disagree, but don't be disagreeable. I don't know the exact formula. It's something I'm working on, Rob. Believe me, I've you're not the first person to have said that to me. In fact, when I first started, there were a lot of people leaving messages that were like, you know, I'd sub to you if you weren't such an asshole. And I was just like, okay, well, you know, then you're probably not going to sub to me because I'm an asshole. And if I don't do things that I feel are me, then I feel like I'm cheating you, the viewer. But I am working on it, Rob. I am working on it. I'm trying to be more comical than aggressive. Yeah, I think exactly, than contemptible. That's something I'm working on, and I appreciate the comment because it's to hear other people say it really goes to show that even me and the way I see myself, it's validated through comments like that where I'm like, okay, yeah, I agree with you. I am a bit more crass or a bit crass in some of my videos, and maybe I could do better with killing them with kindness and tactfulness instead of anger and you know, calling them fucking idiots and this and that. And thank you for that. And Limey Plays is out there. Limey Play, you guys need to go check him out. New content creator for the Flat Earth community, and great, because, you know, I mean, he's a good dude. He's a good dude, and he has great content, and you go check him out. Let's see, Virillion said, I sub because team is the asshole we need against idiots. And yeah, I'll always be a little bit aggressive with my approach. I will always do that. That will never change. But I do think that there's a better way to do it sometimes than just thinking that only my way is the only way that's possible for me to do it. And I grow from it each time. But thank you, Rob Bennett, for the comment there. Let's see. Anthony Hervinsalo for 10 euros. Congrats on 40K. Finally, well deserved. No, thank you, man. I appreciate that. It means a lot because you've been around my channel for a long time. All right, let's see. CEO of Saber says, team, then keep letting people shock you while you're taking a piss. That was comical. Well, fortunately, I was pissing outside, and I didn't have to worry about it, like, getting all over my fucking toilet seat. For No Reason says, you are epic. Don't forget that. Thank you for no. That means a lot. It really does. All right, let's see. All right, we'll continue on with the video.
YouTube copyright game is a joke. And aside from needing to deal with that, it's the fear of needing to deal with that. The amount of times I've uploaded a video that's totally fine and doesn't get flagged by YouTube's auto copyright system, and then a day later gets copyrighted by some random dude just because I mentioned his name in the video, or some random song because I hummed that song in the video, that is brutal. Knowing that no matter how much work I put into a video, I could potentially see absolutely no income financially from the video because someone has a hate boner for me, and a lot of people do, is brutal. It's demoralizing. And the same with community guidelines and demonetization. Let me fill you in on a little tactic that a lot of YouTubers have been doing to get around demonetization. Come closely. This is very important.
Yes, Jack Guitars.
A lot of
You're the
YouTubers will
asshole
upload a
that
video,
did that to
and
me.
It will be monetized. Everything's gonna be great. But before making that video public, they will change the title to mass murder. And YouTube will be like, mass murder? That's not okay to monetize. So they'll demonetize the video. Then the YouTuber will request review for that demonetized video. YouTube will come, they'll watch the video. It'll be a wholesome video about, I don't know, My Little Pony. And they'll be like, all right, My Little Pony video. Doesn't matter that it's titled mass murder. It's not bad. It is totally copyright friendly. We'll monetize it. Then they monetize it. And then the YouTuber uploads the video as a monetized video. That is the current meta to avoid that cursed yellow dollar sign. I bet none of you knew about this, but I know a bunch of YouTubers that they will make videos that are completely wholesome in every way. But
now,
they will
hold on, we're gonna stop it here because I do want to say, if there's people out there that are thinking about doing this this tactic, I have thought about that before. Let me tell you what the problem is. YouTube will only review your video one time. Okay, now that's not to say that 15 different people won't be responsible for coming up with the final conclusion, but YouTube will only give you one opportunity to contest a demonetization status. So if you do this, and I've had videos that have had that 5 months after they were uploaded, all of a sudden got a yellow badge. So let's say you force your video, which might get the green badge, to be yellow, and then you ask for review and they green it, but then they yellow it later, you're not going to be able to review that second yellow. You'll only be able to review the first yellow. So if you upload it and it's quite possibly a green video, in my opinion, it's best to try to get the green first. That way, if they yellow it later, you can then request review on it. But right now, that system's broken. You can only request your video one time to be reviewed. So just as a point of clarification on here. Go ahead, Brainy.
I also personally believe that once they yellow a video, I don't believe it performs as well anyways. I honestly don't. I really don't. I think it's contaminated. It's like it's been tainted.
Yeah. I see you, Philly Sports Passion 85. I'll definitely add that. We have Johnny O from The Plot Hole. That's the name of his channel. And I'll add these to the description. In fact, while this next little segment's playing, I'll add them. But Johnny O from the Plot Hole, that's one person that's out there. I actually know this guy in real life. Very welcoming person. He welcomed me into his home, fed me dinner one night. It was the only food I ate the entire month. He deserves your sub. And then Brainy Beaver. Brainy Beaver is just a good source of ADHD fun.
Vanilla, lots of vanilla.
Lots of vanilla coming, but the vanilla is not the same kind of vanilla you guys are thinking. The vanilla actually pours from his butthole. So it's still vanilla. It's still vanilla extract, so don't be all scared. You just got to run it through
Extract is actually the key word there, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's in capitals.
Yeah, you have to run it through a cheese grater, though, to make sure you get all the particulates out. But here you go, and I'll add their channels to the description right now.
Auto flag system to get reviewed before they upload the video, because it is so frequent that you have a video that's monetized and then you upload it. The second it goes live, it gets demonetized, which means A, you're not making money off it, and B, YouTube isn't going to promote it because they're not making money off it. So it's a dead video no matter how much work you put in. Maybe they'll review it within the next 24 hours and then monetize it, but by then the momentum is gone, the hype is dead, the video is toast. F's in the chat, boys. The demonetization thing is brutal for so many people. And this meta, while working very often, is not foolproof. My gender equality video that I uploaded a week ago, that is currently demonetized for the reasons I've mentioned, well, you see, that video was demonetized even privately. I requested review. They reviewed it with a human reviewer. They then deemed it worthy of all advertisers. They then monetized it after being confirmed by human review. Then I uploaded the video, and guess what? They demonetized it again! And I can't even appeal it because it was already confirmed by human review. Yes, it was confirmed green, but it was confirmed nonetheless. Now, I can't re-upload that video because if I re-upload that video, all the people that saw it already are going to be like, I'm not going to click on this again. And if they don't click on it again, it doesn't get the click-through rate. If it doesn't get the click-through rate, YouTube won't promote it. The video's dead. That's why the video has so few views, because it's demonetized and YouTube doesn't want to promote it, and I can't re-upload it because the people that saw it already don't give a crap. And I don't blame them. It's like going to take a poop after you just poop. You don't need to poop again. Why are you going to go sit on the toilet? Yes, thank you, Nux. Very accurate metaphor there. I'm sure everyone is extremely eager to hear that. The reason why I titled this chapter the bullshit chapter is because it's completely out of our hand. Until here, the algorithm is somewhat understandable if you do crazy amounts of research. Not, of course, that YouTube will tell you anything about the algorithm. You just have to figure it out and whack your heads against other YouTubers and think and ponder endlessly for days on end as to whether this meme that you want to make might or might not absolutely ruin and destroy your entire channel, career, and life. Yeah, aside from that, at least the algorithm is a system in place. The stuff I'm talking about right now is the stuff that shouldn't exist, but is always a looming fear on our heads. There's a big anime channel by the name of Giguk. He uploads like once a month extremely highly edited, written, funny videos. They're good. I like them. And this absolute mad lad who makes completely original, transformative content one day woke up to a very sinister email. His entire channel lost monetization. Why? YouTube deemed his channel copyright. He's just a compilation channel, according to YouTube. Now, it turns out that that wasn't true, and he managed to fight it and win it, but that was probably the most stressful 24 hours in his entire life. Imagine knowing that your career could be over in a blink of an eye. Pretty terrifying. And that could happen to anyone. That was a wrong flag. I know a lot of people, especially in the anime community,
pause it.
that YouTube's like, ah, yes, this person is just compiling anime.
One
Demonetized.
second. All right, go ahead.
Oh, all I was gonna ask is, okay, so compilation videos, that would fall under not re-uploading content, essentially. Like, you're not actually really, unless you're adding, like now, which he did apparently. I haven't seen his content, but if you're not adding well, if you're not like adding some sort of transformation to it or putting your own sort of rubbing your own stank on it, then if you're just taking snippets, are those videos now technically aren't actually monetizable under their system?
No. Okay, so you can get in trouble on YouTube. You can be demonetized for just re-uploading other people's content.
Well, yeah, compilation channels. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you just were a channel where all you did was Dr. Disrespect clips.
Yeah, so that's not necessarily how it works. It's just saying it was a glitch that occurred in because somebody doesn't go and demonetize your channel.
No, but I'm talking about it in a real case. I know this was an accident.
So,
I'm talking about it in a real case where that rule would actually apply properly.
Yeah, you'll get your you'll get your whole channel demonetized, and you won't get.
But I'm just saying that is technically against the rules if you're just doing like Dr. Disrespect greatest headshots or something.
No, because that's transformative because it's not a pure.
Well, what's the difference in that and a compilation channel? I don't understand what a compilation channel would be then, because it. That's what a compilation
I'm saying, like
is.
No, well, Yes, but
It's
no.
a compiling of video clips. Essentially.
Right.
So, there's a difference
it-
between taking just a bunch of video clips and putting it together and putting that out, right? So you just.
But you're
Boom.
saying as long as you're thinking like somebody adds music to it and they add, that's enough to say, well, I've transformed it. I've made it into
no,
a
not at all.
exciting.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Not at all.
I
In
think
fact,
it's, what,
go look
80%?
at
Has to be
Sargon.
80% different.
Nope, not even that. That's not even the case. Go look at Sargon of Akkad's recent. He won a battle on the copyright front because Aquila, I believe her name is Aquila something, or Aquila maybe is her name. I don't know. I didn't follow it too closely, but he put in the title. It said the hypocrisies of the left is what the name of the video was, right? And it was nothing but clips of her saying things that were contradicting clips of her saying things. So when he made that, it conveyed a whole different idea. It had, even though he had no commentary in it, he did nothing to the video. It was just simply clips and re-uploads. It told a different story than what she was trying to tell, and that in itself was transformative enough to be covered by fair use. So
but the only thing about
80%,
fair use, as you and I both know, is you got to get there through a courtroom, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, YouTube does everything they can to avoid it getting that far. Baron Von G for $4.99. He says, I will get a lot of flack for this one. I think PhD Tony was too often a guest. Let's get real. He is a geologist that works for private companies. I think I honestly, I respect your opinion, Baron. But I like having Tony on. I think Tony's a fresh
PhD
face,
is not a geologist.
But why would that matter if he's a geologist that worked for a private company? The bottom line is knowledge is knowledge.
Well,
I mean, people that work for private companies can be the smartest people around. Would it be better that they work for the government? I don't understand that statement. That's all I was going to say.
I think
respectfully, I mean,
I think when you're talking about flat Earth stuff, I think Tony offers a professional perspective that me and Fight just don't have. I think it's great.
Well,
he
has experience with sonar through Earth and stuff. Like that's his. I don't know shit about that. I know I stood there and watched a guy sewn the ground for rebar and wires when I wanted to drill a hole through a concrete floor. But that's kind of what he does with the Earth, though. So I mean, I don't know shit about it. It was a picture of squiggly lines. He's like, oh, there's an opening in the wall. There's a hollow here. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. It looks like a baby.
I hadn't really seen PhD Tony say anything, and now he does say something. He says, I am not a geologist that works for a private company, Team Skeptic. I am a geophysicist who works for a university. Now,
we never made the claim.
I wasn't saying that. What I was saying is that I believe Tony's a great addition.
I got your back, Tony.
So that way there's not a lot of monotony.
Your ass, buddy.
Yeah, I think that you can get, if you have only the same people on every time, I think you can get very monotonous with your content, or at least with the guests that you have. Tony was a fresh face, and he still is. I still enjoy bringing him on.
I would love to have Tony on my channel. I'm just shit at reaching out to people.
And Baron Vaji, I don't want you to feel bad that, we don't agree with your opinion on that, because I think that everybody having an opinion is valid here, and I welcome opinions that might differ from mine very much, as long as it's not hateful. And I don't think what you said was hateful at all. No. But I just think that Tony is especially for the flat Earth community, he's a welcome addition to the flat Earth community. A lot of times when I can't sleep at night, all I do is find the latest live stream by PhD Tony, and there's 3 hours of insomnia, monotonic insomniac, vernacular being. I don't even know if I'm using the right word.
I really only need to see him just yell, get mad that one time, and it just puts me right to sleep.
He says,
I close my eyes with a big smile.
Can.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Twitwit, great to see you. Congratulations on 40K. Well, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I don't ever get to see you. I don't get to see you enough in my live streams. But you're always welcome here, Twitwit. You're always welcome here. And I appreciate you stopping by for the congratulations. We're just watching a video on content creators right now and their mental health. What were you going to say, Brandon?
Before you get... All I was going to say is before you start this up, I wanted to say I feel like that thing of Tony, yes, I fucking can. I think it will be, if it hasn't been done, maybe we need to split screen that with Oh, why has his name slipping me? The Gravity. What's his name?
You fucking retard.
That guy. Yeah, it's
Desert File.
Desert
Yeah.
File. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. No. It's,
fucking can.
I mean, actually, hey, I'll give it to Tony. He's got the intensity. Actually, he wins.
Now, you want to see something awesome? You put PhD Tony's picture next to a picture of Daniel Pratt.
Oh, they're identical.
I know it was absolutely 100%.
Hey, listen, if Daniel Pratt
I
ever
saw it
committed,
too.
if Daniel Pratt ever committed a crime, they'd be able to find him through the forensic genealogy of PhD Tony. They'd be like, "Yep, that was PhD Tony's third cousin that committed that crime."
Mm-hmm.
You see Dan Pratt still losing his goddamn mind. I want to make a song, The Pratt Came Back. I keep thinking I'm going to do it and not getting around to it. Like, the Pratt came back the very next day. Like, I can't sing much more than that or else you'll get demonetized. We talked about this.
All right, here we go.
Copyrighted, career over, and that fear of wrongful termination always being present in everyone's minds, the entire commentary community, where they basically make videos on other YouTubers and drama over social media and stuff. Almost every single commentary channel between 100 and 900,000 subscribers got demonetized. The entire group lost monetization for over a week because they deemed the entire community as harassment. Now, that was wrongfully done, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, that actually happened to
So which
Augie
community?
RFC, the commentary community. Augie RFC
Oh,
lost
is that
it.
when-
Tipster lost his. They gave it all
Tipster,
back
yeah,
to him.
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, he lost his monetization over being just part of the commentary community.
But YouTube doesn't care.
I remember
They'll
hearing
do it
about that and I was a little
indiscriminately to
worried.
defend their sponsors and their money and their advertisers. So they could do that. You could just wake up one morning and your life is over. Well, I have 900,000 subscribers on YouTube that I've been working on for the last 5 years, but well, I mean, I could go back to flipping burgers. That's a reassuring feeling that it could be done at any moment. Not to mention the adpocalypse. The adpocalypse is just an extreme example of this. If you've heard this term, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't heard this term, PewDiePie accidentally made a racist joke in one of his videos, and advertisers got so upset they pulled advertisement from like the entire platform. Yeah, that's right. Every single YouTuber was out of job in the blink of an eye. But that's not all, ladies and jets, because that's only the first adpocalypse. There were sequels. There was this dude who's like, wait a second, there's this video about young girls doing yoga and there's a creepy guy in the comment section. I cannot believe YouTube promotes child pornography. F's in the chat. This is so sad. I can't believe this happened. Dude causes a social media shitstorm on Reddit, and the companies and advertisers are like, yo, we can't be promoting Coke and Pepsi on this. Whoa! And YouTube decides, well, let's just screw over everybody again. Let's go, YouTube, you absolute legends. And then there was Adpocalypse 3, COPPA. COPPA is the Children Protection Act, whatever the hell it stands for, where you can't monetize products that you are showing to kids. For example, all these toy channels and crap, legally, I'm not so sure they're monetizable. But unfortunately, YouTube got spooked. Wait a second, the advertisers are gonna get upset at us again.
Well, that's not necessarily what COPPA is. We won't get too much into it. I'll just say that COPPA is about collecting identification on children. So you're not collecting or identifying features. So you're really not collecting any names, social security numbers, ages, anything like that. What you're getting from the kids is what did they look at before they watched this video. So you have a better understanding of how to directly market to those children. And the government said that that's a dangerous thing to go down. You know, you don't want to go down that route of marketing to children. So what they did is they just removed. No, it's not a new rule. It's not a new rule. Oh, well, COPPA, YouTube, yeah, YouTube got caught lying about taking information from kids, and they got fined pretty heavily. And what they did is they decided to keep that from ever happening again. If your content's directed at children, they were just not going to be. They just didn't say that it wasn't going to be.
Well, they disabled almost everything. There's not even comments.
Yeah, comments.
On all the videos,
you can't. They can't comment.
Comments.
That's a way.
You're not allowed to share it or something. Somehow, I don't think the share button's not there. And like you could still share it by grabbing the URL. They just made it harder. They just made it so it's not readily shareable, and it's not readily, and they don't push that shit at all. So if you weren't already like, a Ryan's Toys review or whatever, you're fucked. Yeah. You're not going to go anywhere because you're not making the money now.
But I just wanted to clarify on that. Okay, go ahead. No,
all I wanted to add to it too is it wasn't just that they see when I looked into it, I thought, oh, you know, maybe it was the government just being the government, but you know what? Like in the government's defense, YouTube, don't hate me if somebody listens, but the reality is that YouTube was effing around. They
got caught.
Well, what happened too in the Cole's notes of it, to make it straight and simple, is that like I let my son use our tablet. Now the tablet, I've tried to log it out, but occasionally it gets logged into my account because I was the first one to turn it on. You know how it is. I'm sure there's a way for me to.
I'll be right back.
Busy, you know it is. So it goes into his account, my account. Well, the thing is, I don't use that account much. I use Brainy Beaver all the time now. Well, the thing is, what happened with YouTube is they were saying, no, we don't know who's kids and we don't collect data on children. You're supposed to be 13 and older anyways. But what was happening in the background is the AI was categorizing these like my account that my kid's on. Well, it would say, well, we know because of viewing that these accounts are being watched by children because they know that mom's leaving the phone in their children's hands, and they were even have an idea of the age and the time of day they watch and all that kind of shit, all that data. And what they did is they didn't just like, oops, we accidentally advertised to children, directly advertised towards them based on their age, sex, everything, which it was 100% targeted based on their exact viewer. They knew that that's a little girl between the age of 6 and 9. And like, they knew what they were targeting. Of course, those are the most expensive ads, but they're also the most successful ads. That's why they're most expensive. So they were actually they were caught red-handedly pitching these. Like they would sit down with the advertiser and say, but they would say, we know for a fact, and this is the illegal part, this was 100% illegal. We know for a fact that even though these many accounts are like, you know, they're not under 13 accounts, quote unquote, that this many percentage of accounts are children between these ages, and we can directly target them. So they were selling the ads to the advertisers based on that fact too. So it wasn't just an accident.
Oh no, and you know that's you saw a huge spike in those toy play channels where it was adults playing with a bunch of kids' toys.
All right.
Well, it wasn't their fault. It wasn't the toy channels' fault. That's the reality.
No,
the reality was it was YouTube. YouTube had been not pulling their end of the deal, and they had been collecting data that they, by law, were not allowed to collect. And then doing the next step, which is even the more egregious part of then going forward and selling it based on the fact that they had that actual data that they weren't supposed to collect in the first place. So it was really a double whammy. So then they paid, what was it, like $230 million in fines and said, here, we'll write the new terms so that
that's nothing. It's
to them, it's nothing. Yeah, and then they went, here, we'll rewrite the terms and we'll make the user responsible.
You know how much ad revenue YouTube made in 2019? I do, because I'm doing a documentary on it. Isn't it? $15.15 billion.
Hey, take it easy, Hardesty. Take it easy, man. Thanks for hanging out with us as long as we have. All right, we're going to finish this video. It's got about 11 minutes left in it, so here we go.
Advertising on things that are directly for children. Let's maybe pull monetization from everything. And when I mean everything, I mean everything. Yes, this dude is talking about hentai. You know, Japanese porn. Yeah, you heard of hentai? Right. That dude's talking about that. But it's animated. All animated content is now officially content for children. Due to COPPA, this is too child-friendly and no longer monetizable. YouTube goes through a lot of phases where tens of thousands of people on the platform see their life flash before their eyes, and it's terrifying. And being in this constant state of uncertainty, whether or not you have a job the next day, is just so scary, especially knowing that your employer literally doesn't care about you. And again, this is all part of the YouTube algorithm operating as planned. When I say YouTube is a system designed to break you, I mean it literally. And everyone's like, haha, YouTube is designed to break you. That's funny. That's what someone would say if they're having a rough time. It's like saying McDonald's is designed to break you. No, I mean it literally. And I never have the patience to actually explain when I say it, but I mean, that's what this video is for. We are merely human beings, okay? We're not naturally ready to have millions of eyeballs upon us, and it destroys us. Every single YouTuber, big or small, ties their success to their numbers. And not just their success, they tie themselves to their numbers. If they're not doing as well as they were a month ago, they feel like lesser people than they were a month ago. They feel like they are on a decline they'll never be able to climb out of. It's so difficult because in an RPG game you're playing, you have different stats, you know, you have HP, you have a certain level, different skills, and that's what makes RPGs fun. You know, you can grow grow and stuff, and the system is designed to help you grow. There's someone that started playing the RPG a year ago that's a much higher level, but that's just some more thing that you could strive to, that you could someday pass that to. And I totally see that appeal. Real life isn't as fair, necessarily, as an RPG, and YouTube, which is its own ecosystem in its own right, is even less fair than that. It's an RPG with favoritism. It's an RPG where you could just get banned for humming Despacito. It's an RPG where there's no guide, no rules, so much luck, and millions of people watching you. In real life, we don't have stats. We don't have a level stat floating above our head. We don't have attack stats, defense stats, or speed stats. On YouTube, we do. And it's so scary to literally see your subscriber count as your level, to see the amount of views on your videos as your different stats in different areas. It's not just that we tie our success to our numbers, or to the amount of money made, or to any of that. We literally tie ourselves to our channels, and our channels are given ranking. Our channels are an analytics page. We are not ready for something like that. The human mind cannot comprehend this way of looking at ourselves. Self-esteem is a really complicated topic that I'm not well versed enough in psychology to describe in a sentence, but I will anyway. Self-esteem is basically how you regard yourself. High self-esteem, as well as low self-esteem, can be destructive for different reasons. But the issue is, on YouTube, self-esteem isn't just an arbitrary way you view yourself. Your self-esteem has stats. The amount of subs gained in the last month, the amount of views in the last month, the amount of views in this month compared to the previous month, the amount of subscribers you have compared to how long you were doing YouTube. I know that this all sounds extremely petty, because at the end of the day, if we looked at this as a regular job that we were doing, well, I am making a handsome income, why am I complaining? Because it's mentally draining and taxing to have the algorithm work against you when you're viewing these stats as your lifeline. This is why it's so hard to relate to people that never suffered the YouTube system. I always love talking to YouTubers, no matter who, no matter their size. I am always happy to talk to them. Thrilled, not just because I've looked up to them for a while and finally got to meet them, but also because there's someone that can relate to what I am going through. And this is just on a pure technical level. This is purely this YouTube algorithm and our YouTube stats and analytics and how they wreck our mindsets and destroy our self-esteem. Imagine also adding that twist, you know, that little thing that is millions and millions of people around you looking at you and your past at all times, where you're constantly under scrutiny. I've gotten canceled on Twitter a good few times, so I look at it as a meme at this point. But the first time it happened, it was nerve-wracking. You have hundreds of people that you never heard of before talking about why they hate you as a person. You never met them. They never met you. They don't know who you are as a person, but
Right.
they hate you. They wish you harm. Hate comments, a bad like to dislike ratio, getting into beef with somebody else and their fans are sending you death threats, making fun of a popular anime show and those fans are sending you death threats. Yes, whoever actually sends you a death threat because you roasted My Hero Academia is not mentally stable. But you know what? You might not always be thinking rationally when you have an actual hate mob stressing your mind out, where you're just glued to read every single one of them. And not reading them is worse, because you know they're there and you don't know how bad they are. At least reading them confines them into a reality that you can hopefully cope with. And this is everyone, by the way. I'm not talking about the fringe examples of people that got canceled for doing terrible things. Those guys are probably near suicidal, and I know people that have been canceled and wrongly canceled, but the whole internet was up against them even for a span of a few weeks, and they were legitimately suicidal. Like, I'm not even kidding. The hate on the internet gets really, really real, and it's really difficult. But I'm talking about average YouTubers. YouTubers that were never in a massive controversy, but just by the fact they have so many thousands of people commenting, they're gonna have a couple of nutcases, and those nutcases are gonna make you feel terrible. Every YouTuber's mental health is so tied into YouTube, despite whether their persona portrays it that way or not, because their channel is their most personal thing. They put their heart and soul into it. They put their life into it. It's how they are regarded as a person by masses. It's more than just a profession, although as a job, it's scary that the job could be torn away at any point as well. The mental stress is undescribable, and I hope that over the last hour, I sort of did describe it in a way that's understandable as well as educational if you want to be a YouTuber and want to try and understand the hellhole that the algorithm actually is. In conclusion,
Now, before we get to the actual conclusion, I do want to speak a little bit. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've looked at my channel and looked at the recent performance of my channel, and equated that to my life worth, And it might be, that's probably not healthy to do. It's really not, because
Not
there's
at
so
all.
much more to life than YouTube. Or being an entertainer or a content creator or a live streamer, whatever the case may be. There's so much more to it than that. But even a lot of grown men and women, they look at their life and they say, what am I doing? What job am I doing? How much am I making at this job? How successful am I? And they equate that to being how successful they're being in life. And, you know, I've definitely can be honest with myself and say that I've done that before. You know, I've actually looked at my YouTube statistics and my analytics and gone, man, like, what's wrong with me? You know, what's wrong? And that can be like stressful. I'm very lucky to be strong-willed and not let things bother me as much as I do. But someone like Arwen, who's on, you know, a mental picket fence and could just fall off at any time into the abyss of nothing, like, could you imagine how he feels about it? You know, and I don't really care whether he's an adult, you know, he can fuck off as far as I'm concerned. But from an outside perspective, just trying to be honest with myself and honest with, you know, the whole process as a whole, I look back and I say, man, someone like him going through what I'm going through now, he might not be able to take it the way I'm able to take it. You know, and when you get more subscribers, it makes it even worse because you just think that you're just going to continue to grow and continue to grow. That's why when me and Fight were talking earlier and he said we're both going to have 100,000 by the end of the year, I was like, I'm not even like thinking that I'm going to go that far because I'm only setting myself up for failure if I do that. I'll only look back and judge myself harsher by saying I didn't hit the goal that I want. Sure, I'd love to have 100,000 by the end of the year, but is that a reality? Probably not. 65.
I
quite
decided
possibly.
that I will start
Realistic
wrapping
goals.
one wrap of the noose every month until the end of the year. If I don't hit 10, no, I'm just kidding. That's pretty dark. But no, I'm joking. I'm in a better place than that. But yeah, no, I put that fucking 10K subscriber bar on my thing, and then later I'm like, bad move. Same thing you're talking about.
Extra J says Arwen crying about not having 1,000 subs was classic. Yes, it was. And that's what I'm saying. Fuck that guy. I don't give two shits about him. But at the same time,
about Arwen, the little mustache guy.
yeah.
There's always hatching schemes.
Well, I do not have 1,000 subscribers yet.
Oh my god, he's right out of Rocky and Bullwinkle. You're right.
But at the same time,
God.
like as someone in his mental state, you know, I'm sure he's very fragile when it comes to his mental stability. For him to go through what what I went through, right now I'm doing pretty good. So that's the other thing. It goes from one extreme to the other. You know, let me pull this up. I wanna see this so I can tell you guys. And oh man, look at that. We got.
No,
a
I know
new
exactly
member.
what you're talking
Jason,
about too.
I can hardly read right now, but let me pull this up. Jason Wolski, yes sir, thank you very, very much, my friend. Became a new member, man. That helps me out a lot, man. I really wish I could tell you guys exactly how much it helps out, but it really, really does to get new subscribers to the channel. I mean, new members on the channel. So okay, let me
up and down. I have 30 subscribers in November, and then like 100, 300 in December, 100 and something January, and then of course it might go down, it might go up. It's almost like now I got to put up content if I want it to keep going up. That's on me. But still, it's kind of like when it goes down, you're like, for a while there, you're like,
Yeah, January I had 10 new subs. I got to 1,000, and then I had 10 subscribers from December 26th to January 28th. Had 10 subscribers. I was like, fuck me. So
on mine, when I look at my,
go ahead.
When I look at my full monthly statistics and I look back and I see subscribers, let me get to the graph. There's the graph right there. Okay, so it does weekly. Where it used to do monthly. Where do I see monthly? Maybe I do need to not go to the full. I think that's where it's at. Yeah, here it is right here. Okay. So monthly, I got in September 4,600 new subscribers. October was 3,100. November 300. Do you know how hard that is mentally? When you care about what you're doing here on YouTube, when you care about the content you're putting out, the new people you're getting to talk to, that right there was such a mental drain on me to see me go from 3,600 new subscribers in 1 month. Really, if you look at the 3 months in a row, is 26, 46, 31. I'm sorry, 26, 46, 31, and then 300 the very next month. And then after that, 100 over an entire month. I got 100 new subs. 300 after that, and then 100 again after that. You know how demoralizing that was? That was like extremely demoralizing. It made me question what I'm doing on YouTube. You know, it's like, what did I do wrong? I've done nothing different. Everything's the same format on thumbnails, same format on videos, and it's all because YouTube was. If I went back and looked at the impressions also skyrocketed up and then slammed down. Like I went from having, I think like 4 million impressions 1 month to like 2 months after that having less than 1 million impressions. It's just crazy. And it for someone that's not as, you know, well-grounded as myself, you know, I am truly humble, by the way. For somebody that is not as well-grounded as myself, it can be a serious mental issue. You know, for Arwen, I'm sure he's struggling right now with how he feels, you know. Let's see. Let me get back to let's finish off the video. It's less than 5 minutes left.
I really want to reiterate that everything I'm mentioning right now is YouTube working properly, and I'm only talking about when YouTube is your adversary. There are also people that are your adversaries. You know, logically you shouldn't complain because you're making an income, but mentally it's still torture because you see your future melting away before your eyes. It's rough.
I just want to answer this in the chat because it's a great question to ask. Virillion says, when you started the channel, did you do it for the subscriber growth or the enjoyment? I did it. Well, I did it to get back at Nathan Thompson's Flat Earth group on Facebook, who had just banned me. But I did it because of enjoyment. I have almost, I would say recently, when you get to a certain point, you obviously start following your subscriber count. I think it took me to about 5,500 subs before I really cared about my subscriber count. And then once I did that, I was like, all right, get to 10. Okay, get to 20. Okay, get to 30, 40. Now I'm at 50. So I did do it. I do it for subscribers now, but I still always will only do something that I truly enjoy. If I don't enjoy it, you won't enjoy it either. That's the way I see it. So it's me first with you guys in mind, you know. So I say, what are my content creators going to enjoy, and how can I make that enjoyable for myself as well? So that's why, you know, I still have my unique spin on the unique spin on how I approach videos. Mark Beiser says, after tonight, I'm wondering how many of the main flurfs will have Shock Me live streams. It doesn't matter. They'll still only make $12. War, they have been keeping you down in the algorithm. Yes, sir, they have. And well, great to see you, my friend. Great to see you.
I'm going to be honest and say that I started this channel because I wanted to be able to make money at what I enjoy doing. It's not to say that
I always wanted to be a YouTuber. I agree with that. Go ahead, keep talking.
No. It's not that I've always wanted to be a YouTuber, so to speak. I've always been an entertainer. Ever since I was knee high to a duck, I've done things to entertain people.
I doubt it. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Look, I'm the most entertaining entertainer ever. Okay, you're the most humblest guy. That's fine. You can wear that badge. You let me have my entertainment badge. No, but I mean, be it theater, be it music, be it stand-up, be it whatever. I've always wanted to be an entertainer, and it just never kind of really worked out for me. So it's not like I have to do it on YouTube. Oh man, I have to make it on YouTube or whatever. I'm not going to eat next week. I mean, I've got a full-time job, so I would like to not have to rely on that full-time job so much. So I would like to be able to put more into the entertainment side, and YouTube can help out with that for certain. But yeah, if I'm not going to, I'm not going to go out and sell my soul to the devil, so to speak, to get 1 million subscribers. I'm going to do what I want to do. And if you guys like it, awesome. If you don't, well, okay, I can deal with that.
Yeah.
I started because of the classic, I had a flat earther in my house. So, I mean, like, fuck, it doesn't take much of that before you're like, fuck this. I'd been watching Simon Dan. I don't know why it hadn't shown me Team Skeptic, but I'd been watching Simon Dan and Sir Sick for like a year. And then I was like, my wife's like, oh yeah. So like, okay, so it wasn't my beekeeping friend. It was his friend. We had to go do some poisoning of the varroa mites on the bees because I'm a beekeeper on the side as well. So he came over with his buddy, and my wife's like, "Oh, he's downstairs." So he comes down, and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I'm like, sitting at my computer right here. Now, it wasn't the behemoth it is now, but I was like, "Oh, I'm just watching this flat Earth bullshit." And they're like, my buddy's like, "What?" And his friend goes, "Oh yeah, I'm a flat earther." And I literally just like slow cocked over my shoulder and was like, seriously? And he's like, "Oh yeah." And I sussed out that he wasn't bullshitting, because next thing you know, my wife's coming down and go, "What the fuck is going on down here?" And I'm like, this son of a bitch doesn't believe in space. Like fucking, like it was gonna turn to blows, fuck, in the basement of my house, because I was like, "How the fuck did you get in my house?"
I never thought about money when I started my YouTube channel. Even when they I had like 5,000 or 6,000 subs before they even monetized me. They kept turning me down for monetization. I had to keep reapplying. Well, not reapplying, but they had to. I didn't have to reapply. They just had to push my application to another person so that the other person could make the decision.
They could be the one to turn you down next.
So I never thought about money or subs until I had about a little more than 5,000. That's when I was like, okay, maybe I have a chance here to do something. Commander Darklight says, well grounded and surrounded by supportive friends. Yeah, that's a big thing. Like I want to say, you know, to PhD Tony, Commander Darklight, Stuart Christmas, Carrie Oliver, Bella Charge, all these people that are, you know, non-content creators that have been there for me when, you know, in a lot of my darkest times. Even Aussie Globehead. A lot of these people that I'm mentioning are people that I've spoken to personally outside of just a YouTube video or a live stream. I think that's huge, is to have you guys around me. I think you guys fill in for the cracks that are in my armor, you know, like instead of allowing something small to just destroy me, I have you guys there watching my back. And that means a lot to me.
I actually think that goes for everybody in this community, because I don't think this community would be the size it is with as many creators as it is if there wasn't, like, if this is one of the most supportive communities I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, there's just great people.
Let's see. And then I saw something else in there that I wanted to address. He says, who is that? Schrodinger's cat? Jason says that. Jason, I don't think Schrodinger's cat's not here. You're probably talking about the plot hole.
Now, how is that possible? We don't sound anything alike. Nothing against Schrodinger. He just, you know,
I think you sound more like him than Brainy does. So if he's wondering who,
probably a little bit.
No, Brainy, you don't sound. No, you Brainy, you.
No, not me. I was talking about him.
Oh, I was saying him saying is that
I was saying
Schrodinger, he was probably talking about the plot hole.
Yeah.
And then Gowden's Riber, what up, my friend? How you doing, man? Says there was a time when you didn't enjoy it. Wasn't there. I noticed that. Yeah, a few people did, Gowden's. A few people did. And I'm glad you're pointing that out, because as I've said earlier in this stream, maybe in the last stream, there was I just wasn't there, man. Like it wasn't making me feel like a good person. I left Flat Earth videos and Flat Earth debates feeling deflated, you know, and wondering why I just gave up, you know, so many hours of my life for nothing. And I don't wish that on anybody, because it was really hard for me for a while. And I know you guys could tell, because I could tell. I listen to everything, you know. I go back and I watch videos of live streams to learn what I can do better, or what I did that was, you know, that was something that's not good, that I could say, okay, don't do that again. You know, you can't do anything about the live once you've done it, but you can always go back and reflect upon it and see what you do approve and don't approve, and what did work and didn't work. Baron Von G for another man. Baron, you've been such a healthy supporter tonight. Thank you so much. Why is it so hard to believe in outer space? It's just space outside of Earth. Why so hard? That'd be a good question for a flat earther or a space.
I use an Omega 13 device, by the way, with your whole like not being able to take things back in live stream. I get it's just like Galaxy Quest. Somebody said to me one time, like, what does a 15-second delay give you? I'm like, oh, dude.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. I'm saying like once the stream is over,
I
have
wicked ADHD. I've got to run a delay. Oh, I see what you're saying.
All right, let me play
Well,
this
don't get me
last
wrong. That's always that.
let me play the last 5 minutes, and we can have a little chat about this. Maybe bring some people on if they want to come in and chat with us real quick.
YouTube doesn't care, and it's rough that the cycle will continue and only get worse, because at the end of the day, YouTube just wants to make money. And this is the system they have in place in order to make that bank. This isn't all the stresses of YouTube, not even by a long shot. This is just the algorithm, and this is the extremely in-depth look on it that I haven't seen anyone else ever make. And it's annoying because this is something that I would have wanted to see a long time ago. This is something that I would want to see as a viewer as well as a content creator. Mental health is something extremely important that needs to be taken really seriously by everyone, and it's downplayed by all of society because it's something that's not tangible. Someone with a scraped knee wincing in pain is not as in pain as someone that is mentally hurting, and I would really like society to recognize that at this point, that that is a genuine physical thing despite the fact that it's not tangible. But for now, this isn't a massive psychology video, it's just how that ties into the YouTube life. But there's only one chapter left for this video, and I do thank you for all watching until this point. As I've mentioned in the introduction to this video, this is part 1 of 2. Now, these take a long time. Don't expect part 2 to be out tomorrow. My guess is within a month, because part 2 is probably going to be an even scarier video to make than this one, because it's going to be focused on interpersonal social relationships bred on YouTube and how soul-crushing a lot of it is. There is an extreme amount of where you're just being used, where you don't know if you're being used. Where are your friends real friends, or are they fake friends? Are they collaborating with you because collaborations get more views, or are they collaborating with you because they like you as a person? Will they betray you if they feel like the mob is against you, or will they stand up for you because they know that you're a good person? Behind the scenes, YouTube is scary. Every single community has dirt. Talking to people in the animation community, there's animation community beef behind the scenes. Talking to people in the anime community, there's anime community beef behind the scenes. There's a lot of beef behind the scenes.
Hey, Rob Bennett, thanks for hanging out with us, man. Sorry, I'm going to stop this. He says, see you later. My wife is on O2 and needs my help. Bye-bye. Go take care of your wife. And, yeah, go take care of your wife. And we'll be here if you get a chance to come back and we're still on. We'll chat. But if not, man, thank you for hanging out as long as you did. And you take care, bud. Really, thank you. Have a good night.
Everywhere, and there's just a lot of damage control making it not look like that. Unless you're in certain aspects where making videos criticizing people is literally breeding views, in which case everyone's mental health suffers, but at least they're making money off it.
Thank you, Peter Collins.
Fault and all the betrayal and all the crap that goes on, the backstabbing and the slander, but there's also a lot of YouTube fault. YouTube promotes this. YouTube created an ecosystem where you thrive with this, so it is to be expected. Part 2 is going to be scary. This is just the YouTubers inside info on the mental health of the creators and how it's affected by the algorithm. Next episode, how it's affected by people and how no one trusts anyone anymore and how that is terrifying. That all said and done though, I am excited for the future. I made a lot of genuine friends on YouTube and I am proud of how far we've come. I'm proud of what I'm about to make because I have a lot of exciting content on the horizon. I love creating and I love my community, and there's a lot of greatness that there is to say about YouTube as well. I'm not being hypocritical here when I say that the influencer lifestyle, not that I like that word, has a lot of ups and a lot of downs. It's important to recognize both of them, and it's not a contradiction if there are good aspects and bad ones. But this was the long-needed video about how YouTube is designed to break you. Thank you all so much for watching. Bit of a long one this time, I recognize that, and the algorithm will probably punish me for it anyway, but I wanted to make it, and that's just life, gamers. If you like this kind of thing, you know, talking about YouTube and the meta, as well as a more inside look and a lot of other shiz, I'm always happy to do that kind of thing, because while I started YouTube with a hobby of anime and other things that I'm excited to talk about, YouTube has really become a hobby of mine, and venting about it is probably also good for me. You could be my 1.7 million therapists. Definitely subscribe if you're interested in this kind of thing and future shiz. And I know it's not really my niche, and YouTube won't like it so much that I went out of my niche, but it's a video that I'm just happy is finally made. It's something that needed to be made, and I guess I'm the one to do it. Hope YouTube doesn't punish me for this. But that said, I think it's extremely important for people to actually see this video. Like, I cover a lot of important shiz, whether it's mental health stuff or the YouTube algorithm in general, and I think that this video can genuinely change someone's perspective of someone that is suffering suffering even if they don't realize that they are. And it can also make people that are suffering realize that they are not alone. I would appreciate anyone that shares this video around, other creators or other viewers in general, because I doubt the algorithm will be promoting this one all too much, being that it's out of my niche and it's way longer than usual and the click-through rate's not going to be good and other things that I've mentioned. But all shares would be really appreciated, as well as likes and comments and everything. I'm curious to hear your opinion on this, and if it's something that you like, I am willing to commit maybe to doing a big boy like this once a month, just super in-depth, something that people aren't willing to talk about, but I think needs to be said. So once again, to everyone that's still watching here, about an hour and 10 minutes into this video, you're the best. Like, I really appreciate you. Have yourselves a most wonderful evening, and remember to stay weird, fam.
All right. Well, that's the end of that video. Let me get a different graphic up so we can have something going while we're chatting. Again, I like what he says in the video. Whether you like him or not, this is a great video for content creators to
Found him funny.
Yeah, he is good. Take care, Daryl. Appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with us. And let's see, team up with PhD Tony and do real science. Yeah. No joke, you really did help with quantum mechanics. Don't stop. Yeah, and I appreciate that, Baron. Again, I will be talking about it because you'll always have a lot of content creators that are out there that are anti-science or pushing an anti-science narrative. So I will get back to covering those people. I just think currently there's a pandemic or an epidemic, I guess, if that would be the proper word to use in this case, an epidemic of people coming out that think that they know better than the scientists and doctors during this COVID-19 crisis that we're dealing with. Now, I will always cover anti-science, though. That's why you don't really see too many of my videos as just a video about a person having a public freak out. That's not me. What I find entertaining and I find enjoyable are finding the videos where people are making bad science claims so I can make fun of them. Because those people are idiots and they're stupid and there's no way to
A mandate is not a law, team. A mandate, come on, not a law. Come on, that's not a law.
Yeah, but it's not a law. No one ever said it was. Yeah,
lady, it's a mandate. It doesn't matter. It's
enforceable by the law, but it's not actually
Jesus.
defined as a law. Yeah, but oh no, this is a good video. If you're a smaller content creator, it's a good video to watch this. It says, you mean Karen? Yeah, I think, what did I say, Baron? What did I say there? But ooh, Diablo 2 is getting remastered. That's awesome.
I saw that.
Limey Play says, I'm diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and bipolar and have a tough time during lockdown. You and your community have helped me so much. Thanks, man. Well, hey, again, like, we're all here for each other. That's one thing I'll say. In the commentary community, you get that a lot too. If you go and look at their community, they do a lot of live streams together. They're all well versed with each other. In this community, it's real strong like that as well. So even for people like myself, I'm bitching about mental health and my own personal experiences. Commander Darklight was right when he said it, like, it is about the people you surround yourself with, it is about the good and the bad people, if you surround yourself with negative people, you're not going to have a very good time on YouTube. If you surround yourself with positive people, you will have a good time on YouTube. And that not only includes the people you do live streams with and collaborations with, but also the community that you're putting yourself in. If you put yourself into a community that's all about like the incel community where they hate women all the time, well, if you love women, you're going to find yourself extremely, extremely down all the time. Even if you don't love women, if you're an incel, and unfortunately, there are people that are incels, if you just decide, hey, I'm going to go find myself in the incel community, well, you'll never get out of being an incel. So, let's see. Quantum Degreaser says, have you introduced to our one true algorithm? All hail the algorithm. He who walks behind the rows of corn. Algorithms of the corn. Yes, exactly. But we are going to end this live stream here pretty soon. I just right now I want to open it up to you guys in the chat. If anybody wants to come on and have a conversation, you let me know, and I'll bring you on probably through Discord. I'll bring you on, you and Brainy and the Plot Hole. If you guys have time, y'all can hang out with me too and chat with them. But if anybody wants to come on, you just let me know and I'll bring you in on Discord. But we'll give that about 5 minutes. Brainy, you have anything you want to add to this video while we wait for people?
No, I think he did a remarkable job at tearing down and putting on display in a very well laid out, formatted way. I mean, I found it compelling. And I've lived it, and I felt like everything he was saying I could relate to. So when he says like the ability to relate to other YouTubers, I mean, absolutely. He nailed everything, and I know that he knows absolutely all. And I'm sure it goes in contrast to the size of the channel. And like, yeah, my channel is smaller and everything, but you know what? I mean, a lot of people know this, maybe a lot of people don't, but like I started my channel, I had a job. I'm a Red Seal refrigeration commercial mechanic. I make good money, you know, when I'm working, but you know, only about 6 months into owning my channel, I got laid off and I decided to start my own company. And of course, you know, anybody knows anything about starting your own company, you know, it's pigeon pie for a couple of years. And with the coronavirus pandemic, it's kind of even worse. So what I'm getting to here is that for me, the initial money was supposed to be like, you know, oh, maybe I'll make a couple $100 in a month, you know, and that'll help, you know, like I can use it towards groceries or buy my wife something pretty once in a while. And, you know, it'd be something cool. But of course it's because I don't make as much money as I was making before. It's very much morphed into something that I kind of look forward to and rely on to, you know, to pay the bills and advance the channel in an attempt to potentially make more money, both for me and my family, but also for the viewers. Everything I do, I want to put on a good show. I want people to have a good time. That's what I'm here for. So, you know, it's all of it. So I'm in the middle with that whole thing of when you said you didn't get in it to start making money. Well, neither did I originally, but unfortunately, due to the way life works, you know, it's become something that I kind of, you know, I don't want to say rely on that, you know, few $100s a month, but it's become increasingly important in my life. So for a multitude of reasons, YouTube is very important to me, and I can relate to absolutely everything. So yeah. Very long-winded, but that is my summed up.
Have a good night, Peter Collins. He said he's going off to work, and Sarita Verde says, "Love you, team," with the red heart emoji. Aw, te amo también. Te amo también. All right. The Plot Hole, what do you have to say in regards to this video we just watched? Anything you want to point out or highlight?
It definitely is a comprehensive jumble of shit that you have to, you know, maneuver through being a content creator, especially if you're out there considering getting into this giant pool, this cesspool. Yeah, that guy is pretty much spot on just about everything he has to say.
Yeah.
It's tough, but I mean, do it because you want to, do it because you enjoy it. Don't do it because you have to.
And Jason Wolski says, I may not have enough time to say this, but goddamn, I love you guys. Man, Jason, we love you too, bro. And again, you became a new member, I believe, during this stream. And I want to say, you know, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, it really, really does help me, and it really makes a huge difference in my life. So just knowing, you should know that you are, you know, you've made a positive impact on somebody today, and that somebody is me. So thank you very much. And Skydiver Chandler says, I'd want to chat sometimes, team. Just not tonight anymore. Need help and ideas on many things. Johnny O and Brainy's input sometime would be nice. Yeah, I believe sometime is the key word there. You don't want it all the time. And I would say this video really did encompass a lot of good points. That's why when I watched it the first time, I was like, I need to share this. And I wanted to do this live stream where it was just, you know, mainly focused on content creators out there. If you have if you want to ask questions, or if you have some questions about, you know, why your channel's not growing or what you can do to grow your channel, you know, I want to help. You know, I'm here to help because I was in your shoes at one point. And this guy was in my shoes at one point. You know, he was in your shoes at one point. He's got millions of subscribers now, and he was in your shoes at one point if you're a smaller creator out there. So I think that watching this from the perspective of someone who's grown with YouTube, where I've only been here for the past 3 years, he's been here for much longer than that, and would have a better perspective on it. So that's why I felt like sharing this video with you guys tonight, and also say, you know, thank you for all your support. You know, thanks for being there for me. Now, Heat Shield says, I have questions. Tag me. And says, all haters on you can fuck off, Jason. That's right. They can fuck the fuck off. All right. Team Skeptic finally left the nonsense of science deniers. Looking forward to your channel. As Jamaicans say, big up. Yeah, big up back, Baron. And again, I'm not really leaving science denying people, because that's pretty much what I cover right now with the Karens. The Karens I focus on are the science deniers, the Facebook researchers. That's how I got my channel start, was dealing with Facebook researchers, literally on fucking Facebook. And I just said, fuck that. I'm not dealing with these people anymore. You know, like I'm not dealing with Facebook's ability to be booted from groups and this and that. I'm going to go ahead and start a YouTube channel where they can't stop me. And sure enough, I started my YouTube channel, and that's where how I got to where I'm at today. And it's been a up and down roller coaster, really, for lack of a better term. It's been a roller coaster of emotions. You know, getting false DMCA claims on me, taking fucking 4 months off to deal with personal life. You know, I went through an emotional tragedy. It wasn't a physical tragedy, but an emotional tragedy in my life before, you know, when I took these 4 months off, and I came back and Simon Dan had 85,000 subscribers. I was just above him, and he just catapulted over me. And I really went through a portion where I was like, damn, that could have been me, but it's not, because I took these 4 months off. That's what taking 4 months off does to you. You miss an opportunity like that. No, that doesn't mean that Simon Dan doesn't deserve it. He absolutely does. But it also could have been me. We could have both grown with that. Just came back. There was 100 likes and 0 dislikes. Now that is thumbs up are 105, 106 going up. Thumbs down was at 2, then went to 1. So fuck them 2 haters. But no, people love to troll me. Hardesty. They're having a good time doing it, and I don't mind it so much. But what were you gonna say, Johnny?
I was gonna say, or you don't take that 4 months off, and you still end up the same place that you are, except the thing that you had to take the 4 months off for festered, and now it's become a different issue altogether. I mean, sometimes I think people get too hung up in the what if and the what if and the what if. Yeah, we can what if ourselves to death. And I'm not saying that's what you're doing, because I understand you recognize that your success. But it's important to put the important things first, and dealing with, you know, your situation at the time where you needed the 4 months was probably worth the bit of a setback you saw.
Yeah.
And there was no guarantee that just because you were around at that time, meaning that, you know, you were going to hit the same type of algorithm that Simon Dan hit.
Right. Yeah, and I don't want to, like, I really don't want it to come off as me as jealousy, because Dan's actually a really good friend of mine.
No, absolutely not. I don't think anybody here sees it as jealousy. It's sometimes I think that we can get too caught up in the what ifs. Well, what if I did this?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that could be equally.
I don't think there's anything wrong with a little bit of healthy jealousy, in the sense of just, I mean, jealousy, I guess is the wrong word in that. I mean, you know, it's, I guess I don't know what the word you'd use would, but you know what I mean. It's not jealousy, other than like
competitiveness.
Yeah, who doesn't see another person and see them performing maybe with the same level, or maybe even a lesser level? I'm just saying in some instances. I'm not using examples here. And who wouldn't want to see that and be like, God damn, you know, like but what you do is you don't turn it into jealousy, I guess, is where you turn it into like a dislike, or maybe like a fuel a hatred with it. Whereas what you'd use, like Team saying, competitiveness was where you turned into, you know, you think, okay, well, you know, then I got to step this up. Then what am I going to do? What am I going to do that's going to engage my viewers and going to move this channel forward? So that's what you got to use it as. It's if you sit there and just think, fucking asshole, why does he get all the views, son of a bitch? All he does is sitting there fucking talking about whatever.
One thing I've always
you're
learned,
not getting nowhere doing that. That's all.
Well, one thing I've always learned in life is that, if you want to be successful, you have to mimic people who were previously successful. Hardly ever does someone break the mold and still be successful, where everyone else who's doing it, like a two-wheel car, is not going to be a successful car. Cars are built on 4 wheels. They need all 4 wheels at the corners. If you put one in the left corner and one in the back right corner, the front left and back right, you're not going to have a very successful car. So a lot of times you do have to follow what is successful, what's been successful before, and really learn from other people who are doing it as well. And that's what I've always done. That's one thing, like, I've always, even after I stopped really going on Fight's channel, I still look at him, not as competition, but as a metric to compare myself against, as somebody to say, okay, where is he still winning and I'm not winning? Or where is he falling off where I'm doing good? I always look at those two things. I even do it with Simon Dan. I do it with Conspiracy Cats. I do it with Creaky Blinder. I do it with all these different channels. Sir Sick, Godless Engineer. I do all these channels I use to watch and learn from them how to be a better me. Now, I don't want to take too much away from me or go, I'm not going to go into doing Flirts or Idiots videos. Obviously, that's Fight's thing. But I could learn from something like that. He has, you could learn that when watching Fight, you say, oh, well, he has a numbered series. Well, maybe I should have a numbered series, and grow and implement my own ideas into what a mold or a business model, or even a YouTube model, if you don't want to call it a business model, a YouTube model that's working, For 10 pounds from David Oliver, he says, I'm thinking of, hold on, let me get this. I'm thinking about building a Roman-like civilization in Minecraft. I'm building a Roman fort. It took me 3 days just on the terrain, and it's going to have a ditch. David, share that with me. I know you probably have, and I've probably just been an asshole and not responded, and that I apologize about. But share that with me on Discord so I can actually see some of your work. I actually don't mind looking at Minecraft videos and people that do Minecraft stuff.
Is one of the funnest games ever. I remember I was playing EVE Online, big MMO, massive multiplayer online, hanging out in 0 space with alliances and stuff like that. And these guys are playing Minecraft. And this is back when it came out. I'm like, what are you guys talking about in voice comms? They're like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you talking about that blocky square game? They're like, yeah. I'm like, that looks like trash is what I said to them. And all the one guy did is he paused. He said, have you tried it? I'm like, no. He's like, try it. Well, that next thing you know, for the next 2 years, I was playing Minecraft. It was so much fun. I mean, talk about a game. Oh.
Friendly rivalry is what Tony says. Yeah. Competitiveness, friendly rivalry. That's a good one. That's actually a little bit better because I think when you can have a friendly rival, that rival of yours can push you to be a better person. So I think, that was really good, Tony. And then War, you said,
when you find yourself carving initials into your wrist, then you got to cut back. You got to bring her back a little. You got to start to get real.
War says, I know you're not into theology, but if you ever want to talk about stuff, Team Skeptic, I'm always around. Let me ask you a question, War, because I'm not, I'm about as close to an atheist as possible without considering myself an atheist. I just consider myself, agnostic atheist, where I don't believe in a God, but the reasons why I don't believe in a God is because there's just not evidence to support the claim that a God exists. But I would love to know what your side is, what you would believe in the theology spectrum. Are you a pro-theist or are you an anti-theist? Not necessarily an atheist, but do you believe in God or do you not believe in God, I guess, is just a simple way of asking. And nobody should judge anybody out there that says that they believe in God. That's fine because that is their personal choice. And even though it may be different from what you believe or different from what I believe, it's still a valid opinion to have. Now, when you start making specific claims and there's people, stuff that is, very, very anti-science, I guess. Like to think that the Earth is 6,000 years old. It's very anti-science. I can definitely argue that point with you. But also to say that if you're saying, "Yep, I don't know if God exists, but I do believe God exists." Well, that's not an invalid personal belief system, I believe. So I'd love to know what your I would love to know what your opinions are. It says things are so finely tuned, there must be a creator. Was a pastor for over 20 years. Okay, great. Well, that's awesome, War. Maybe one day we'll have to get you on and have a talk about that. Because the fine tune argument, there's so many
finely tuned, like putting a windpipe next to the place where I drink water, and then making that water completely render that windpipe useless, causing my.
Well, we won't get into the debate on that tonight. But hey, War, anytime you want to have that conversation, I'm more than welcome or more than welcoming for that conversation. I think people do like to actually hear the other side, whether they agree with it or not. I think that's one of the reasons that Flat Earth is so popular is because the people so much disagree with it, but they want to hear the other person give their opinion on it or the reason they believe that. GT5 Trevor hits R1. No, I haven't, Kiwi Gamer. Yeah, I was gonna say send it to me on Discord if you have it, and maybe I'll give it a play or I'll at least give it a watch. Okay, so let's end that there. Brainy, what do you have to say to the audience before we get out of here?
Baba Booey, Baba Booey, Baba Booey. Go look at my short. Give it some love. That's it. I've talked enough. I'm sure.
And War says science
Walk
and
away.
faith go hand in hand. Definitely, we'll have to have that conversation more. I definitely I don't agree with you, but at the same time, I don't think your opinion is invalid. So one day, man, we're just gonna have to sit down and have a conversation, maybe even a conversation with someone a little bit more suited for the conversation than I am. I can always learn about stuff, but there's people out there who have done lots and lots of science research that are already in the community. That'd probably be more than happy to speak with you about it. Okay, so the plot hole. What do you have to add before we get out of here?
Yeah, you guys are awesome. This community that I kind of piggyback onto is fun to interact with, and team, appreciate the invite to the stream.
Hold on.
Well, and actually, by the way, congratulations on the 40K. I forgot to add that, by the way.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that little minute number.
Of course. Yeah, that tiny little thing.
Tiny number.
Hey, hold on. Let me ask Kiwi Gamer. Oh no, it says I'm on your oh well, there's your channel. Okay, let me go to your channel.
Oh, mama.
Oh, okay. I'll play this. Do you mind if I play it? Kiwi? Let me wait for Kiwi to answer. As long as they're okay with me playing it, I'll go ahead and put it on here real quick. I'm gonna watch it while I wait for him though.
I was whistling while you work. That's late.
Says no.
No, I think he says no. He doesn't mind me playing. Oh, it was beautiful though.
And no, I'll copyright strike you. That's what he was.
Yeah, no, I'll copyright strike you. Yeah, here I'll play it for everybody real quick. I think it's actually pretty funny. It's a short clip, so it won't take long. Oh, actually, I'll just do this. Hold on. Oh, but you can't hear it if I don't. My 4K downloader is acting up. It's probably, you know what? It's probably just let me listen to the audio real quick and see if there's. I'm sorry, but just thinking that this is Arwen is absolutely hilarious to me. All right, give me 1 second. Let me get this on screen for you guys. Oh, I gotta add it. Wrong screen. There we go. This is Kiwi Gamer or Kiwi. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be Gamer or Gamer. I don't want to keep mispronouncing it, but this is Kiwi. Trevor hits Arwen. Here we go. There's not gonna be any sound, but that's on my end. There's actually sound in the video. That's supposed to be Arwen right there. Looks like him in 3 years. Oh, poor fucking Arwen. Can't win. Even in video games, can't win. All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to be where we end this tonight. I appreciate everybody for coming out and having a good time with us. Let me get over to the live stream studio.
A lot of fun.
So I don't fail. He looks like Golem. Yeah, he does. But so do I. So watch your mouth there. No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. Thank you two guys for coming on and watching that video with me. It was only an hour and 10 minutes long, and we somehow managed to stretch that out to 3.5 hours of commentary. So, Brainy, people were saying Uni was bringing me up. What did he bring up about me?
I didn't watch all of it, but he kept bringing. But his whole stream was just a recycle of like, FTFE. Why aren't you understanding that this is all fraudulent? We have the proof. I'll talk for 40 minutes about all the things I don't really have proof for, and then at the end I'll say, but I don't really have proof with all that. I mean, he's literally he's doing defamation.
He's such a fucking
He's talking
dumbass.
He talks for 30 fucking minutes and basically paints a fucking Bob Ross for his goddamn viewers on what is happening. And then he has one comment where he says, I mean, I don't really have anything to back any of that up. And that's supposed to be his fucking asterisk. That means that he's allowed to say anything he wants. You'd think by reporting on KJP and Taddy Westbrook, he would be smarter than this.
Yeah. Baron Von G for 49 says, this is spectacular. This moron has 40K following him. We're 40,000 idiots, though. And we'll all agree that anybody who watches Team Skeptic is an idiot like Team Skeptic is.
Oh yeah, we're all a bunch of skeptic idiots. Yeah, I'm a skeptic baby though myself, so I'm always going to be your little Kinder egg.
Yeah. No, I'm proud to.
As gay as that sounded, no offense.
I'm proud to be your YouTube dad. You and Radical both. But
that's right.
Yeah, I agree with you. War knows as much as any of us do about the hypocrisies of Unirock, because he was. That's where I think I ran into War the first time. Was over on Unirock's channel. So yeah, War would know.
Him talking about you was just saying the typical like Team. I don't know why Team doesn't, like he's just doing that same old like apparently everybody's supposed to call everybody out for everything always ever. I don't
well, I have no idea what he's talking about to begin with. So
that's the thing. If somebody's done something wrong and you have evidence of it, then by all means. But he doesn't have evidence of what he's talking about, but he wants everybody else to step forward with stuff that he doesn't know is happening. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, he can say whatever he wants about me. He's fucking irrelevant, and I don't even give two shits.
I mean, I agree. I just think it's ridiculous. But yeah, that's what got me into that. So anyway, sorry.
Yeah, he's a doofus. Exactly, War. He's a doofus. All right. Well, that's going to be where we end it today. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I can't tell you enough how much to say. Match your volume to the other person, please. Who do I have that's too loud? Because
is it me again? Because I got told in FTFEs I was too loud too, and I've got myself turned down a lot.
Let me see. Yeah, I think it is. Your volume's just a bit loud, but it's okay. Here, say something. Beautiful. That's the perfect volume right there. Okay, so
I knew it.
But yeah, thank you. Thanks for pointing it out. Tina Jones, thank you. Thank you for that. And Baron Von G, I know it was a joke. I take all my jokes in stride. You know what I mean? But I want to say thank you, man. Thank you to all you guys. Y'all are very inspirational to me. And, just having you here, it helps me out mentally. It does. It really does help me out. It makes me feel, I know this is like not the greatest thing to say, but it makes me feel good when I see you guys in the chat. It makes me feel loved. It makes me feel wanted, especially in these times when I'm not having the social interactions I'm used to in, real life. A lot of my social interactions are limited to Brainy Beaver. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
so
Jesus, right?
yeah. So I needed, I needed you guys there too, and the fact that all you guys are here and you're here with me now, and we're, it's damn near 1 o'clock in the morning at my time, and y'all are still hanging out with me. It just means the world to me. So thank you, Brainy. Thank you, the plot hole. And if you're listening out there, fucking thank you too. Hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe, even though you already are. And I'm Team Skeptic, and I'm out. All right, we're good. We're off.
Cool.
Yeah,
Think
no, what
it.
you
The
said
end
there,
stream
they
has
don't-
not
they
gone
don't-
away yet, though. Hold on, I'm waiting for it to
They,
end. I'm dead serious. If it didn't end, I don't know what the fuck is going on. If it didn't end,
I was about to say terrible things about the audience. No, what I was gonna say is they don't really understand how
It's
much
not
of a
over.
heroin. Like it's like, well, then they can hear this. It's like heroin when they leave comments and say like, oh, "That was so funny, good job." Like it's like straight up drugs.
okay. So yeah,
It-
that
it
was
feels
on
so-
me,
it feels
guys.
so good.
That was on me. It says when I clicked end stream, it says end or not yet. I clicked not yet. That's on me. This is not a YouTube dickweed move. This is a Team Skeptics a dumb shit move. But yeah, we're out of here. This one's for real. Bye bye. Yeah, now we're done.